character like bumps into some dude, and that dude like spills his drink all over the face of some bigger dude or woman or non-gendered individual, and that bigger person gets mad and then smacks that person in the face with their knuckles, and then the other one high fives their face back, and then like next thing you know, somebody's breaking a chair and the windows are getting smashed through with actual bodies being yeeted out through them. The window behind the bar. Are we on? Oh, we are on.
We are on live, yes.
That entire tangent. Thank you for the bits, Lich.
Remember, I woke up this morning and had to choose whether I wanted to be pretty or smart.
Yeah, we know this.
Sorry, I never choose. The choice is made for me. It's my secret. I'm always pretty.
We went live and all the cameras were screwy, so I had to fix them. But hello, everyone. Hello and welcome to the Mistwalkers. Hello.
Hello.
So we have some beef going on.
It was accidental beef, right? That's why I went.
And also on purpose beef.
Also on purpose beef.
Yeah, so not just the accidental, it's also the on purpose. Okay, cool. Yeah. So we have
Beyond beef.
I was like reading while I was talking. It was a whole thing.
I'll always remember the first time I had a Beyond Burger. It was pretty amazing. It was in this bar tavern-like restaurant that was inside of an old hardware store, because you know that's how hipsters do it and shit. And it's just called Shop. But like they brought it to me, and like I looked at it, and I said, I think I may have gotten the wrong burger, because it was pink. I was like expecting.
They do a fantastic job at the Beyond the Meat stuff.
I was expecting.
I've heard of the shop. I think it was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives or Sun Food Network show, because it is in a warehouse, and is it in?
No, it's very small. It's in like upstate New York in the capital region.
Maybe I'm wrong, and there's just multiple shops where they sell multiple burgers.
Shops like
where they sell in odd spaces.
It's very white hipster to.
It was.
I would like. They like to say rejuvenate, but it's literally just
gentrification.
Like diet word for gentrification. So.
Yeah.
Although the food is always pretty good, especially when they get somebody who actually knows how to cook in the back.
What if we open a bunch of chain restaurants throughout the realms and we collect the various currencies? I think we need a business, but the problem is Atlas doesn't care about money. He just wants friends.
You'll all be paid in Electrum.
You would actually make a whole lot of friends, and you would be able to tell off people who are rude to the workers for no reason. That's true. Like, what if we, now hear me out, Affy, what if we, the Mistwalkers, started this chain restaurant and also had like made it like a Captains of Industry kind of thing, so it's like a tavern, if you will, but also a brothel, and all of the sex workers are unionized.
The soup
I'm
place.
here for unionized sex work.
And there's also a soup kitchen that feeds the impoverished as well as homeless folk and just regular Joes who need a meal and like didn't bring their gold to work today.
The bed and brothel.
Everybody, yes, the bed and brothel. Everybody deserves food, drink, and sex if they are indeed a sexual individual.
Yes.
Only if we call it Hubba Hubba Soup.
It has to be called Hubba Hubba Soup.
Hubba Hubba Soup. What would be in the special Hubba Hubba Soup?
It would be a very hearty stew and a blowjob.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing, though.
Can be taken simultaneously.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to eat at the same time as having that happen. What if
What if you spilled it on their head?
That is an option that's on the table.
Oh, only with prior consent, of course.
Yes, consent is very important and a requirement of the Hubba Hubba Soup place.
Steaming hot carrots.
Yeah. Don't say carrots. You'll summon Agni, and we don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
What is that a trigger
word
for
Agni? It's a thing.
Is that like
a
springboard word?
Don't ask.
Yeah.
No.
If you don't know already, don't ask.
I think I have that video somewhere in
I'm sure if I scrolled
in
up
Agni's.
Please send that to me at one point. Chat. Don't start talking about carrots.
Please don't summon Agni.
Agni's coming. We all know it's gonna happen.
He might be at work, so no.
In your bid to end all things, Agni.
Anyway, let's play some D&D 5 minutes into being live.
Yes.
We
Hi,
need to go
Only
everybody.
5? Okay.
We've done worse than 5 minutes.
I
Yes,
know,
we
I know.
have.
Is
So
there a
this-
brothel in the Gerblin Tavern? I think we did establish. Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was looking at the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the Mistwalkers again. I am DM Affy, and this is the crew. We are down in Alaric today for some birthday shenanigans. I don't know if it's his birthday or not.
He's apparently having a surprise party, but it's not a surprise since he knows about it. So it's like a surprise, like pretend to be a surprise thing. Everybody make their best surprise face.
You can't see, but I'm doing it.
I can feel it. I can feel it with my heart.
I feel the vibes.
I can
Somebody
hear
fucking
it.
clip that.
I can hear it with my ears and my ear bones.
I feel it in my
Son.
fingers and my toes.
Eminette, if that actually works, I'm gonna poke you with a stick.
So, where we last left off, everybody who had chose to partake received a prophecy from Velma the Hag in the woods between the Lady's Tear and New Tempest.
We do have to see if Sly took one.
Words are hard.
Words are super hard.
So, those that did take a prophecy were told that the only payment that Velma required was that you remember her when the prophecy comes to pass.
Remember me. Though I hate to say goodbye. I'm gonna cry.
Thank you for the musical interlude. So you have left the Hag Stump, and you returned for the evening to finish your long rest because you were interrupted in the middle of your long rest
By
a couple of trolls. Rockgut and Bob.
Rockgut and Bob.
Oh my
Bob.
god, Nimbo! Nimbo!
Nimbo the himbo.
Nimgut.
And
I ship Nimgut. We're gonna come back 20 years from now. It's gonna be an amazing thing.
possibly. However, there is also the issue of a illusory cloud giant that was summoned.
I don't know why you say issue.
Issue. Yeah.
I just
They-
mean that Nimgut will not happen because the cloud giant is there, causing a very great distraction.
As if Rockgut cares about the laws of biology and physics.
That's what true love is. It
Yeah.
goes
You know, I
beyond
sure
science.
don't. So
You say it's an issue, there will be issue.
I'm gonna make an issue. I'm
You're
the
gonna
issue.
ruin the
I'm the
romance?
drama.
I was saying issue in a Shakespearean way, like these children are my issue. Like
Not that kind of issue.
the fruit of thine loins, if you
No.
will.
No.
Issued forth.
I don't know how
Come sprouts.
trolls procreate, but that won't happen. Please don't Google it. I don't want to know. I see your face here.
I've had to make performance checks for sex in role playing games.
Well, yes, Sly had to do a Constitution saving throw. So
Well, Sly was also 5 foot nothing and being slammed by a fucking minotaur.
So the funny thing about that is that I rolled a 1 originally, but it didn't register, so I had to roll again, and I didn't die.
I'm not gonna ask what's in Sly's pants because that's frankly none of my business and it's not pertinent to our current conversation. But I do just want to say that there's only a certain amount of inches that are involved in certain canals.
not if you watch
Made it work.
hentai.
Touche. You know what? This is D&D. I don't know why I'm getting all hung up on this. Anyway.
Just saying. So you have woken up after leaving Rockgut to have a veritable pissing contest with this cloud giant that is under Alaric's control. You
And is
walked away.
breakdancing.
Is currently breakdancing, and until it receives a different order, will continue to break dance for time immemorial.
And will never disappear.
Will
And
never
cannot
disappear.
move from where it is.
Yes, correct. So you are heading north once again towards New Tepest. You have not found any sort of markers left by Guthrie, the dwarf who usually travels from the Ladies' Tier to New Tepest and back again. So I need whoever is leading, or whoever is pointing Atlas in the way to go, as Atlas is hooked up to a sleigh, to roll a survival check.
If you want, Atlas can roll the survival check. There's one problem. I was a dumbass and I forgot to screenshot my character sheet.
Unrelated, how do you block somebody on Discord? Rob.
I tried to
That
send it to you, but
wasn't
we're
my
not friends on
fault.
Discord.
Did you send it?
You asked for it.
I tried to send it too. I tried to send it too.
I mean, I'm not actually going to block you. I'm actually going to accept a friend request because I didn't know that you had sent a friend request because I'm
No,
really
no
bad
problem.
at social media, but still.
Afi, could you do me a huge favor and screenshot me my character sheet and send it in the Headcanons channel on our server? I'm sorry. I was stupid.
So needy.
You know,
I am very
the first
needy.
image is actually very tame, to be honest.
It gets worse.
And I'm trying, and like, I mean, I know the video is not very safe for work because it ended and it's just the thumbnail of it, and I'm trying really hard not to just bust out laughing, and I'm failing.
What
It's
is
something
what
that will
happened?
stick with you, though. Like, you're
wanna
gonna
know.
remember this, like, as a random intrusive thought during a day, one day, like, years out.
Oh my god, I'm sending this to lols. I'm sending it to lols.
All right, hang on. I gotta
Blame Agni when you
do
send it.
work.
I'm
Yes.
crying. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh, I needed that. Oh my god. While Appy's doing that, everybody look at this snoodling that I've been making for Anna the Bold, who is going to be having a little baby cub. Anna the Bold from TikTok, from the Maple Tavern, was like, how do I get a snoodling? And I was like, okay, I do that. And this is what I have so far of our snoodling. Just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
By the way, my notes from last session, Cedar, are a lot like yours were from the session before. Not a lot of them make sense.
I don't
The very last thing I wrote down was, shit, we forgot to ask Velma about Guthrie.
Oh, fuck!
Literally the last thing I wrote down. I went,
As if
God.
she would have told us anything.
Probably not, but we still could have asked.
Yeah, that's true.
Another one was, we're all gonna die.
Alright,
Alaric
Atlas.
is trolling the trolls.
Atlas, he's gotta start backing it up. And okay, beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
And then there's another one that's like written in all caps that just says, Afi hung up on me.
That was hilarious.
I
That was
didn't
so
mean
funny.
to. Blame
I've
this
also been like practicing writing in Celestial, so like sometimes I don't know what my notes say. But these are the notes that Artemis was just referring to. Salamander, smirch, squatch, smatch, smirch, squatch.
Yep.
Poofily snoot, snarf, blat. Bork fucked. All caps. Or is it bark fucked?
I thought you said bark last time.
Bark fucked DM Corvée.
Either way.
That's
Well,
Emily.
DM
Makes
Corvée
sense.
was prior to this part.
Yes.
Tentacles. Gateway tentacles. Oh, okay. I know that part at least. Sky tentacles.
Sky tentacles.
What a game.
I also have that written down.
What a game. What an amazing RPG.
All right, Maggie, I've sent you Atlas's character sheet.
Thank you. Atlas rolled an 8, so that is total of 14.
Okay.
I'm so good at math, Rob.
What were we
8 plus
rolling
6.
again? I'm terribly sorry.
Survival.
Survival. Whoever is guiding Atlas, or Atlas, since they are technically leading as they are pulling the sleigh that you're all in.
Why won't it let me pick up the dice? Fuck.
I don't know, but you should be able to just double click it and it'll roll.
Excuse
Damn
me.
it, Jeremy, I am not playing a skunk.
It can do that. I have just been picking... Okay. So whenever I botch a roll because I wing it too hard into the tray and it goes flying all over the fucking screen and then doesn't count even if I roll really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a French skunk by chance?
Yeah.
Alright, so
no,
Atlas got a
that
14.
Artemis's face. So
17.
disappointed.
Okay.
I'm disappointed.
So you are heading north, and you already know that there's not a whole lot of ways to go outside of north. There are a couple of game trails and what have you, but for the most part, you stay on the straight and narrow, if you will.
Can you open the country map, the realm map that you sent me that
Yep.
one time for me, Affy? Sorry, thank you.
No,
I
you're
just-
okay.
For like future plans and stuff for me.
Yep. I'll
You
push
the
it out
best.
to
Okay,
everybody.
I'm needy.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm me. I don't know.
All right. So if you look at that map that I just sent out to you, with your survival checks, you're about 3/4 of the way to New Tepest.
Well, we have to go back down this way anyway, so it's we'll be able to stop and see. Cause like I just imagine Keeli just like we're out of earshot. Alistair's laying on the floor of the wagon, laughing and rolling around, and it's really upsetting, but like weirdly like contagious.
No,
But then
My
all of a sudden
plan
Keeli's
is to
just
not
like,
have to come back this way. I have sending. So my plan is to not have to come back this way and have Calypso come around the horn and come get us.
But it's dangerous for the ship to.
I
come
thought
in.
if she went all the way around, it wasn't as bad.
Oh.
She indicated that with you on board, you would be a larger target for George. But
So much
she
body
can
heat.
go faster or more
Oh, yeah.
safely without you on.
Yeah, it's true. And so it's
Yeah,
just like me.
That was sort of my plan, was to like message her once we get there, be like,
but we
hey, you
have
want to
to,
come
like-
pick us up in like a week?
Yeah, but we have to like go through the ocean afterwards, so we're just gonna be a big target for George again.
That's gonna happen at some point, but
He's gonna.
I don't want to have to
remember-
come back through these woods.
He's gonna remember. He's gonna feel the disgusting bite of my Eldritch Blast on his little fingies, and he's gonna be like, "I know you."
I'm the one that he looked at. He literally held me and then threw me over your shoulder like a rattle.
You were deemed unworthy,
You were not
Apparently.
a tasty nugget.
or
Story of my life.
Same.
he heard his mom say, "That one's mine." Just slowly from the depths, a giant beak. Somebody draw that Jaws poster. Except it's Keeli treading water in full armor and chainmail in freezing cold temperatures with a gigantic beak just coming up underneath.
Yeah.
Octopi beak. Very important.
Yep. It's their butt beak. It's their butt beak.
Their butt beak.
Yeah.
All right. So again, you
taint
guys
beak?
are between New Tepest and the Ladies' Tier. You're probably about 3/4 of the way there. You will make it by evening tonight.
The Ladies' Tier is that fucked up little structure right there, right?
The southern settlement that's all kind of busted up and shit.
That's where we came from.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're a little more than halfway there.
Yep.
Whoa!
Living
Shit,
on a
mama.
prayer.
Take my hand!
I'll make it, I swear.
Whoa! Gotta translate it to Celestial so that way we don't get copyrighted.
But the tune, if you even hum it, it's gonna get copyrighted.
Nobody has literature. It's all the literature on a lot of these languages are super vague.
Very true.
Almost like they're not real languages.
Well, you could say that for pretty much all languages. Everything isn't real until it's made up.
Yeah,
That's
All
true.
words
not
are made
real.
up, Rob.
they are.
Not real.
All
English
right.
is the dumbest language.
Okay.
At
That's
me.
true.
at me.
It is a very silly language.
So as the sun begins to set, you do see the tops of palisades over the treetops. And as you get closer, you do come to a very large stone wall. Outside there is, it looks like almost a stable type situation, except the kennel is full of dogs.
Woof.
Oh.
Do you want me
None
to
of-
talk to them?
Like hunting hounds?
You can make a nature check if you like.
Oh,
They
'cause
might
I'm
be-
so
they-
good
there
at
might-
those.
I mean, they don't speak.
I
Some of
can
them might
speak.
be blind.
I could speak to them. I'm a
See-
druid.
Seeing eye dogs.
All seeing
Sure.
eye dog.
Service animals.
Oh. What
I
did
would
you
like to
roll?
make
I'm good at this.
I'll make a nature check.
Yep.
I'm proficient in nature. for
I
some
can
reason.
literally talk to them.
Damn it!
You guys are doing great.
I'm doing wonderful.
Like
I know-
Friday night.
Or
You guys
yesterday.
did so good.
Literally, Athelstan sees and he's just like, dogs.
Dogs.
Are there any humanoids, upright humanoids, in? So we're outside of a wall. Like, I'm sorry.
You're
Continue.
outside of a
please.
stone wall, and there is a building to the right side of the path. And there is like an outdoor sort of kennel with high fences.
Can I
And there's a bunch of dogs in there.
cast speak to animals?
Sure.
I cast speak to animals, and I have a ring of animal friendship on me too, which helps me make friends with animals.
Okay.
So-
So they do not respond to you.
They're just like strangers. Play,
They
play.
also didn't really respond to the jingle bells you're wearing.
Oh, they're
Oh
deaf.
no,
Deaf
they're deaf
too.
too.
What kind? Hang on. Describe these dogs real quick.
Larger, not mastiff size, more like husky, very furry, very thick
Winter
coats of
climate type dogs.
Winter
A lot of
climate
them
type
very
dogs.
white with like albino looking eyes and whatnot.
Okay.
Yes.
That
So more
seem to have
sled
a
dog than
genetic
hunting dog.
tendency towards deafness and or blindness.
Does anybody know how to speak Morse code for dogs?
I mean, we could try the hand signals we were taught back in.
No,
The
well,
broken downtown?
We have Genie with us.
Her
Athelstan
too.
will like, yeah, Athelstan will like kind of turn and look in like in the back of the wagon at Genie and be like, what is customary on this point of entry?
Oh, well, my dear, you must go up to the gate, and there is a signal fire that you can light.
All right. He hops off the wagon. Well, steps off the wagon because like I did some calculations. He's very much a lot of leg. He's like Riker. Oh man. Oh no, a map!
Okay, settle
That's-
down.
I
It's
skirted
just
the-
Sorry, I was picking my spells out and it just like
It's
scared the
for
shit out of me.
visual purposes only, probably.
Whenever
Probably.
I see snow like this on a map, it makes me think of that scene in Adventure Time where the Ice King accidentally made the entirety of Candy Kingdom super sick with his icy cold beard flakes. What?
Of course.
Yeah.
So
It's snowing for you. Princess.
Map looks dope.
thank you,
It is super dope.
thank you.
It's got a lantern. I don't fucking trust it.
So
Quick, memorize the position of the lanterns.
the one directly outside of the gate is up on a post, and you can see at the base of it that there is an iron basin with some sort of moss or something inside.
Moss.
I think it's doing the same thing where I don't have vision
Oh
with
yeah.
Valish.
sorry, I thought I put Breeze on the map.
Guess I do like a perception check, kind of keeping an eye on my surroundings as he's walking up to light the pyre.
Absolutely, you can.
I am trying to minimize this map over
And I'm sorry,
here.
you said the pyre was where?
It's more like a small
Brazier.
iron bowl.
Like a brazier, yeah.
A little bit less ornate,
Small.
less big.
A sconce. A sconce.
A sconce would be a better word.
Okay.
I just wanted more. I just wanted an opportunity to make like a Brendan Fraser brazier joke, but like that's fine.
Becky, where are you?
We stand Brendan Fraser.
We do stand Brendan Fraser.
I don't. Oh my gods. Oh,
Okay.
okay, 16. That's not.
So the snow is falling pretty thick. The dogs are quiet, other than like the occasional as they talk to each other. But
They're like huskies. Ow! Wah! Wah! Wah!
my fur nephew is a husky, so
Oh my
Yeah.
fucking gods. People are like, oh, huskies are so big and beautiful. And it's like, yes, they are. And
They're
they're
also
fucking
dumb
annoying.
as
They're dumb
shit.
and they're like, they just want to run. Attach them. If you live in a very cold climate and there's dog sledding in your area, yes, go
Yes.
for it. It'll be great. They're excellent companions. Wonderful. Otherwise,
Are you all moving to the brazier?
Yes.
Yeah, I would go with Athelstan.
I mean, yes. I mean, I have the cart, so if people are still on the cart and I go, they're coming with me, unless they jump off.
I was going to assume that some of you hung back a little bit, but that's fine.
We have to touch the shiny. That's the point of the game.
All right. Well, Athelstan walks up to the thing and he just kind of like druid crafts a little flame in the moss because I can do that. I've read the spell. I know the extent of my powers now.
I'm watching the road south.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check, Keelai.
Okay.
There's lanterns over there on the left and a dock. Oh wait, I probably can't see that anymore. Ooh,
Wow.
that was a 2.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
You see a road.
See everything.
All right.
Is this
Yeah.
where I want to be? I want to be right here. Yeah.
Yep, that's where you want to be.
He's a big boy.
So you
He's
like
tall and tall.
the Brendan Fraser?
Yes, I light the Brendan Brazier.
Okay. So the moss inside immediately takes to flame. However, it doesn't burn red or yellow or green or anything like that.
Is it Skadog? Oh wait, no, that's not moss. That's a fungus. Never mind. Sorry.
It's moss-like. It may
Yeah.
not be actually moss. Nobody did.
What color is
check
it?
before you burnt it. Right now, the flame is burning red, but like not flame red, like fire engine red. And
Ooh. That sounds familiar.
as it burns, it begins to move in towards the core of this little puff of moss-like thing.
Before you continue, based off of the flame color and the smell, does Athelstan recognize this type of fauna?
You can make a nature check if you like.
I would like to do that because I
Okay.
need to know if he needs to dive into the snow or not. 16. Make sure y'all like read out your rolls and shit.
You have heard of moss that's flammable, or like when you're looking at it now that it's on fire, it almost looks more like a tumbleweed. But there's something in it, in like the core of it, and as the tumbleweed burns and it hits that core,
I'd like to take a couple of steps back.
yeah, you can do that. It immediately
will-
shoots up from the brazier
Mm-hmm.
into the sky and pops. And the sky for about 2 or 3 seconds is completely illuminated as this ball of gunpowder explodes.
Yep.
Shit.
Hence why I took a step back. Well, hopefully the folks here mean no, we don't hopefully they are not against visitors at this late hour.
Jeannie kind of waves her hand. She's like, no, dear. It'll be fine.
They
This is
all
how
show
they,
up with halberds and swords.
This is how they know somebody's at the gate that isn't see-through.
Atlas looks down at his body, and then he sees his delicious man titties. They're still there. Then he checks his gloved hands, just flexes them. He's not see-through.
No.
Delicious
I-
man titties.
I think she meant the gates not see-through.
Oh,
I meant
No,
the
that is not what she
approach
meant.
of
Like the things that attacked us.
a wraith or a ghost or something. Something
Okay.
that would announce its presence versus somebody who would just drift through the door.
oh, do we have to announce our presence?
We
What?
We just did.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry.
was
I feel like Atlas would just be like,
I was going to scream and shout and let it all out, but it's okay.
they are deaf. They would not be able to hear you scream and shout. We would
And
though.
let it all out. Yes, that's a good point.
I mean, you can do that for your own sake if you like.
Just monotone for a minute. Also, I'm sorry, there's just like a lot of thunder in the background too. We're in a
That's
storm.
okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
But since I don't have my camera on and I'm playing with data instead of my Wi-Fi, you guys are still alive and I'm not a robot.
Who?
Eli, were you going to say
So-
something?
Yeah, I just have a question because I'm having a brain fart.
Yep.
Who is our frontline people besides me?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure everyone here is either stabby or squishy.
So you have Gabriella and Sly, who are rogues. There's you.
Yep.
You're not sure about Jeannie.
I still think she's a fucking vampire, but whatever.
I mean, Athelstan is kind of versatile, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know,
Bro.
I've seen the porn.
Face. Yep. It's in the community art channel on
Everybody has seen the porn.
/
now.
NSFW channel.
18 plus only, kiddies.
Check us out on Discord.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so Avery, who's watching in Florida right now, stay out.
We'll
Don't
find
let
you,
me-
Avery.
What if there's another Avery from Florida watching? Wouldn't that be creepy?
Don't let me catch you being under 18 in the 18 plus areas in the Discord.
I'll
Which is
yell
the
at
entire
you.
Discord.
Which is the entire Discord. But I mean, at least that one says, you must be 18 to enter.
It does. Okay. So as you're waiting there and the light in the sky has faded and you hear the soft of some sort of byproduct of this explosion kind of landing in the snow. The gates in front of you slowly open and a 6'2" woman is standing there, a human woman, dark skin, dark hair, and like greeny blue eyes. And she looks at you, kind of scans you all closely, and then with her hands, all of you understand this because of your intelligence checks, she says, "What can I do for you?"
Athelstan will sign the formal greeting that Jeannie taught them.
Okay.
We'll sign the formal greeting that was taught to him. And we'll think for a moment, because like Cedar's thinking for a moment, because I probably should have thought of this during the week that we had. Say that we are visitors and would request a safe place to rest for the evening. And if you had any, like, if there were suggestions for such a place, like where sleep and like stuff like that, you know.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a problem. Where can I sleep? Where can I eat? Those are all
we strangers, we visitors.
Yeah. Jeannie kind of like helps you. She's sort of like standing off to the side, being like, "This is what you mean for visitors or strangers, and this is what you mean for."
He's just like visitors.
Yeah. Just trying to be diplomatic. So, the woman standing there, she nods her head and indicates you'll want to stay at what did I call it? That would be helpful, wouldn't it?
Fuck, what did... Okay, at the fuck, what did I call it? Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's
Great
called.
name, great name.
Sounds like a wild place.
Mother's Maison.
Maison, like
Like maison.
In French.
I don't know French.
It means
I'm
house
American.
or home.
Mansion.
American, so we don't speak French here.
You
Barely
can,
speak English sometimes.
Pardon?
she indicates that you can sleep there, you can eat there, you can rest for the evening, and she's happy to show you the way.
He signs, "Thank you. May we enter?"
She pushes the doors open a little bit further, but then notices Atlas. And indicates the sleigh needs to stay outside.
Yep.
Oh just no! Me with the sleigh.
Get Atlas unhooked.
No, all she said was sleigh. All she said was sleigh. So we literally, and I start like I just like, yep. She just means the sleigh. You are not a sleigh. You do slay. You do slay. But
sometimes I'm more of a healer actually, but thank you.
I was going for never mind. And he's like starting to like he's like undoing the straps and like getting Atlas unhooked from the sleigh after we like park it in a reasonable place, you know, not just gonna leave it like in the middle of the road.
Yeah, of course.
Grab up all our shit.
The image on the map where the cart is where you park it. I kind of built it in that would happen.
Bestie, was that humor?
He pretends he didn't hear you and keeps going.
Bestie!
Keeps going. Just following, he catches up with the dark-skinned, dark-haired human woman who is 6'2" with greenish, will you say greenish blue eyes?
Greenish blue eyes, yeah.
He asks what is their name and rank, or title or whatever, name and title.
She introduces herself as Captain Olivia of the third house on the left.
Hello.
What
just happened 30 seconds ago because my mom called me and told me she got me potato chips.
I like potato chips.
I want potato chips.
They're Lay's Original. Do you call them Lay's Original or Lay's Classic in Canada?
Yeah. Regular, classic, yeah.
Plain.
Walkers for our UK fans.
Yep.
Also, what are you doing up, UK people? It's 3 a.m. No, 2 a.m.
So just to recap for you, Maggie, you've been unhooked from the sleigh. You were told that you slay, and you're allowed entry into the town.
Just so you know, that terminology was taught to him by Tommen.
Yeah, absolutely it was.
Yeah.
Sly also indicated that Athelstan had made a joke, and Athelstan ignored her.
He has a sense of humor. He has a sense of humor.
Athelstan has also asked the person who basically answered the door for you their name and rank, and they introduced themselves as Captain Olivia.
And title?
I said Captain Olivia.
Captain Olivia of the third house on the left. Very important.
Of the third house on the left.
As long as it's not the last house on the left.
Athelstan will introduce himself as Athelstan of House of Rex. Visiting on a diplomatic adventure?
You could say. I would say you're well versed in saying this is a diplomatic.
He's making fancy talk. He's just got a translator with him to help him make the fancy talk.
Yeah.
He's a prince boy or whatever. Fancy
So-
pants.
Jeannie is more than happy to assist you with the proper hand signs or translating directly for you. She, of course, lets you know to speak directly to Olivia rather than her
Oh, yeah.
and then translating.
Oh yeah, he was definitely doing that the entire time. He's barely paying attention to like Jeannie, only to like listen to what she has to say or something.
That was
Or
just
when
an
she's, like,
in-character public service announcement.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Always, always, always. Treat people like they're people.
Hey, we summoned Agni.
There's Agni.
Fuck, it
Hey,
worked.
what do you mean? I'm pretty sure you're the one who summoned Agni with the messages that you sent me, which are fucking hilarious, but still.
Liz,
Rob,
go to
why your
bed. It goes up on
eyelashes so-
YouTube in like 3 days. Or you can watch the VOD.
The VOD.
Okay, so Olivia leads you inside and brings you to a large home that's on the right side of the main village square. So I will... Oh, wait, I didn't put walls in. So yeah, you can freely move forward.
Paint us a word picture of what we could see of the dark snowy village.
I'm
Happy.
getting there, motherfucker.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Also, is there like a way for me to minimize all of these fucking windows on
Yeah, you
Fantasy
just
Ground?
right click, and it'll give you the option to minimize on there.
On the wheel that comes up on the...
Yep.
Yep. You got it? Okay.
But real quick, where did it go now?
So
If
Probably
you're
behind the
moving,
map.
There should
Blank
be a
screen.
black dot that looks kind of like an X marks the spot
What?
on your
Wait, what?
on your
Sorry?
desktop.
Oh, that's like right in the middle.
Yeah.
Damn.
You can move them.
You can move
Mhm.
it.
You can move the.
dot.
Oh, that's hot.
All right, so you get an
Hell yes.
inspiration cedar from chat.
Oh, thanks.
All right, so leading you inside, there are 2 buildings directly inside.
Random skill check for Sly.
Shh, not supposed to say that.
Oh,
But she
I'm
probably
not?
saw it. No,
Sorry.
the random skill checks are meant to like freak the players out. I need
like
you to roll a medicine check just randomly.
All of us?
No, Sly,
Why?
Oh.
because she got the random skill check.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just
So these 2 buildings, as soon as you enter,
Wait, you want me to do that now?
on the right side is the inn that Olivia directs you to. It is a large wooden cabin style
Ooh.
with stairs about halfway down that will lead you to the inside. On the right side is a blacksmith.
Ooh.
I thought the inn was on the right when we entered.
Sorry, the inn is on the left. The blacksmith is on the right.
Makes more sense.
Question.
What's the blacksmith's sign say?
It doesn't say anything.
There's not even like, it just has like what's their graphic design like? What's their logo like?
There is no logo. There's no placard or anything.
There's just a fucking forge that we can see, and that's how and it smells
What
like
color is
soot.
the
Yeah.
fire? What color is the fire?
It's currently nighttime, so there is no fire currently visible. It
Not
looks
like
like it's
burning the
banked
midnight oil?
underneath the forge.
Not like burning that midnight oil or anything like
No.
that. Yeah, they obviously have reasonable work schedules here in New Tepest.
Consider it Sweden.
Ooh, I love Sweden.
So like 4-day work weeks and
I'm Swedish. But the only thing that's not cool right now, it's one thing that's, I mean, you don't want to like idealize places that you don't know the whole story about, but
Of
like
course.
right now, it's hard to get air conditioning in all of Europe. So like it's super fucking hot and air conditioning is not very accessible, so that's an issue.
fair enough. That's a good.
If you got European friends who have like fundraisers or whatever for air conditioning, either at least share the link, or like if you can't, throw a couple of bucks their way. It's important.
hmm Especially with how things are heating up, as it were.
Aha! Climate change.
Yeah. So Olivia directs you or stops at the bottom of the staircase to the inn and just gestures up and says, Welcome to New Tepest.
He says thank you. He would, before she leaves, he would like to take an aside and ask her real quick, who and where is the governing body of New Tepest?
So she pulls you out into the middle of the pathway and gestures to basically just north of you, where you can see what looks to be a very obvious sort of fort-like structure. It's all stone. It has like turrets, and you can see just the beginnings of ballistae on the top.
Sick. Does she give me a name?
If you ask for one, absolutely, she'll give you a name.
Yeah.
She gives you the name of the mother.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Well,
I was like slightly expecting Poe for some reason.
she corrects herself and says the mother's maiden. But essentially, she feels a little silly, but she basically explains to you through Jeannie that mother's maiden is an embodiment of mother.
Basically what he'd heard already. Keep your cards close to your chests, everybody. That's Cedar telling the audience. Never
Or-
let on how much you know.
Alternatively, go play
Athelstan
some
telling the
cards.
rest of us.
We could play some cards. We're about to go
I
into
can
the-
almost buy 2 more packs, and I still can't use the other ones that I have, so
Well, next
no.
one that I DM, you're not allowed to play in. Just so, because I want you on the outside. I need my outside guy.
But I like playing in all of our stuff.
I like playing with you too. I'll let you be in the Halloween one.
Phrasing.
Who's playing in the Halloween one anyway?
We don't know yet.
We just have the DM set for now.
I have a few.
Believe me, it won't take me long to fill those up.
No.
I'm like talking to Laws. I'm just like, hey, what do you think of these ideas for this one shot that I'm gonna do in October? And they're like, that's disgusting. I love it.
Lulz
about
is
this?
good people.
Laws is a horror expert and taught me everything I know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry.
All right. So, do you enter the inn?
Yes.
I'll wait for I'll bring up
We
the rear
go
and like
in.
kind of like, ha!
Lame.
Whatever. You love me.
I'll wait to take up the rear.
Okay. Easy enough to do. So you go up about 6 stairs, get to the top, open the doors, and then you have to descend another 3 stairs to get into the tavern of the inn. I have a map.
I love taverns
Map.
like this.
love
I have this
maps.
one tavern in this in my D&D campaign that I'm DMing right now with my friends and like trying to put a podcast together for. There's like this one tavern on this asteroid belt colony, and it's called the Cube, and it's literally just like a glass cube shape, and like it's literally like just a tavern, and then in the center is like stairs that lead down to the sand pit where they do
Love
some
it.
knuckle fighting.
Question.
Answer.
Did I die?
No.
What, like, how did that roll go? I don't know.
Did you roll it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's Affy's face? I'm scared.
Yeah, me too.
They know something that we don't know.
Oh my gods, did you have unprotected sex with the cowman?
No. No.
Oh, what do you mean no? Where does one
Chlamydia.
where does one even get? No, I'm not worried about like I'm not necessarily worried about a sexually transmitted thing. The only sexually transmitted thing I'm worried about here right now, because we have magic and shit, is like, well, we still have magic and shit. Is
A cow baby.
cat horny baby.
I thought Sly can't
Again.
have children.
Sly is a tiefling, so the baby will be a tiefling.
So I
But
can't
yeah.
have babies.
Tieflings
So
have
Tieflings
horns.
breed true.
Tieflings have horns.
Still
Well,
have horns.
still.
no babies for Sly. That's not the concern here. Don't worry.
That would be fucking hilarious, though. And adorable. Just saying.
No babies.
They would be, like, I know, but, like, now I'm imagining it. Like,
It would be pretty fucking cute, though.
like adorable fan art, like, yes, a tiefling baby, but with big dumb cowman eyes.
I will allow this to exist.
Yes.
If someone wants to do this, I will
Yes.
allow it to
It's
exist.
adorable. There is a timeline out there.
We'll
where
add it to the 80 other things that I have to draw yet.
I have
You
a
don't
lot of.
have to
I have
draw
a list
it.
already. I've got the Sly koalaing the human part of Atlas, the mighty boomstick shaking off a layer of snow, old Athelstan. Oh,
Yeah, that one Laws will punch you for.
Oh.
But okay, but did I die? Like, what was? Am I fine? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, you seem to be fine.
you're getting a cold.
Cool.
Start just walking.
I don't trust you.
Or maybe Athelstan finally had enough.
Probably
and poisoned you.
wise.
How's that pen prick doing?
Fine.
Okay, so we get up and then we descend into the tavern.
Yes, so descending into the tavern, the bite of the cold and the snow is immediately erased as you enter this very warm parlor. There's a bar, and behind it you can
Athelstan
see a
will
couple
take the
very
small
large
piece and bring
kegs. There is a tiefling standing behind it. The tiefling has very large ram-like horns that kind of spiral out a couple times. And you can tell from the white silvery streaks in their hair, they are on the older side for a tiefling. They sort of prop themselves up on the bar. Their gaze is mostly towards the tavern itself. So when you come in, they just sort of give you like a wave or like a salute. And yeah, you're free to move about the cabin.
When you said ram like horns, I thought of Ram the robot. They're just like two little rams on the side of their head. Not
My
robotic,
hair is
just like
white.
legit, just little
Yeah.
rams.
How crowded is this joint?
Currently, there is the tiefling bartender. There is a somewhat larger gentleman leaning on the bar itself on the other side, kind of curled around a mug of something. And there is one patron at the table to the southwest that's eating
Sorry, I was
something.
just making. I'm sorry, I was like looking at the map and trying to figure out if it
Okay.
was indeed this small.
Drink.
Could you repeat that description? I'm so sorry.
Wow,
I'm needy. What can I say?
you are needy. So there's the tiefling bartender standing behind the bar.
Mhm.
There is a portly gentleman on one of the bar stools across from the tiefling, kind of like huddled around a mug of something. There is also another patron, a sort of waifish gentleman in the southwest corner, eating breakfast.
Breakfast?
Yep.
Isn't it like nightfall?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Breakfast for dinner. Love that shit. What's breakfast for
Breakfast
dinner?
for dinner always.
Hell yeah. What's
Eggs and bakey,
eggy bakey, wiki
and
bakey,
toast.
eggy bakey, wiki bakey toasty. Maybe people keep different schedules. What do I know?
Yeah. This guy works nights.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wanted breakfast for dinner, man.
There's Connor having some breakfast. Okay. This is all very pertinent information for me.
Mhm.
Everything matters to me because our EM wrote it.
So
Alright.
sound-wise, all you can hear is like the scraping of the utensils on the plate. The sort of movement of like an arm against the table as the portly gentleman and the bartender are talking. And the crackling of a fireplace from somewhere.
You just hear Athelstan just kind of like, he just like stops. And you know how when you like walk into a room and it's like, it like smells really good?
Mhm.
He's like doing that, but like with his ear bones. He's just like, bless silence. I love it here. You go up to the
Because
bartender.
I'm here.
I love it here less. And he goes up to the bar.
So moving up to the bartender,
What?
he makes the excuse me gesture to the portly gentleman and gives you his full attention.
He will give greeting and then ask if there is boarding available.
The tiefling replies with absolutely. We have a few rooms available. How many will you be needing?
Emotional
He
damage.
signs one moment and he looks back at everybody. I was planning on getting my own room and my own bath.
I sleep in a bathtub, so like.
I'm sure
Do
that
you-
can be. I'm sure that
Do
can
you
be.
want to split a room, Sly? You can have the bathtub and I'll have the room.
Deal.
We can save money and hang out and talk about our feelings. I don't know what people do at sleepovers. Pillow fight?
Just like in Sly's like mental image, all you have is just Gordon.
Yeah, yeah.
Gordon.
Like at that conversation, Athelstan is also having some mental images, and he's just like,
Yeah.
Oh,
It will be girls' night.
Gordon. Gordon. Gordon.
it's actually leaked out of her mouth now. Gordon, 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 Gordon.
And then just.
She's like, we can talk about boys.
And then she starts crying.
Gordon pulls out the letter.
Athelstan is just like,
Sorry, Liz, I missed your posture check.
Oh.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
I don't have posture.
well, the better posture that you have, Affy, is going to provide better image of cleavage.
Yeah.
We need the views. Come on, Rob. You need to start wearing deeper V-necks, man.
I'm sorry, Amaranth or whatever their name is streaming, so we have no chains.
Wait, for real? Are they?
Yeah.
I also am wearing a disappointingly high cut band shirt. Sorry,
Of course,
everybody.
Amaranth is. Of course, they're like one of the live channels we think you'll like. Listen, Twitch. You don't need to remind me how gay I am.
Mine might be in or out. You do not know their Schrodinger's boobs.
True.
Are these Schrodinger's boobs? Oh my god! It's like I couldn't find the pictures that I took of my tibbies before I got the chop, and I texted Laws, so I want to show one of my coworkers, and I texted Laws. I was like, "Yo, you got any?" It's like, "Yo, I know we took some photos. You got any pictures of my tibbies?" And like hooked me up with 4 pictures, and I was like looking at my body. I'm just like, it doesn't even look like my body. How did I deal with that? They were so big. The worst. The actual
managed.
worst, for me at least.
And now you're better.
I found that too when I because I lost weight over the course of 2020. I found that too. Looking back at pictures, even like I was going through my old clothing and I found my old undershirt stuff, and I was like, how did this fit me? Wild.
And even in that kind of sense, specifically, my body weight is like a normal cut. My type of body fluctuates in weight. So in the winter I gain weight, and then in the summer I lose weight. It's not just it's just leftover run from tiger juice, I guess. And then survive the winter juice. But I also weightlift in winter, so
I mean, this is just all Nordic breeding here, so.
I know, and they look great.
Thanks.
You could
Really?
tilt your camera down a little bit more, though. Yes!
That's all you get.
Sly, where's the shirt? Where is the shirt,
I
TM?
don't know. I've been
How do you
looking
not
Literally
everywhere
doesn't
and
know.
I can't find it.
Anyway, so Athelstan's gonna be like, so how many rooms are we going to be asking for at this point? I'm not, no offense. Well, why would this be an offensive statement? My apologies. I am not bunking with any of you. Sorry, not sorry.
You're not invited to our sleepover anyway.
I hope you have a wonderful time. I
Probably
will be having my own sleepover with me.
Probably
and not you.
5, 6.
Yeah, shit. How many of us are there? I'm
There's-
gay. I can't count.
There's 8.
Key will ask Gabriella if she wants to share a room.
Literally, the first thing that was literally what I was gonna do next. I was gonna ask, not if she wanted to share. I was going to ask Gabriella if she wanted her own room.
She indicates with her new hand signals that I'm fine to share with Keelai.
Cool. I'm not footing everyone's bill. I mean, I can.
So the tiefling
he
behind the
does.
bar.
I don't know how much it is.
Yeah, Athelstan will indicate like 4 to 5 possibly, and at least one with at least a bathtub for one of our folks to sleep within, since that is their preferred sleeping place.
He's happy to indicate to you that all of their rooms have an adjoining bath room. Literally just a bath. Not anything else. You'll have to go outside for that.
Thank God.
And
there's an outhouse. Tell me there's an outhouse. Does it got like a little moon carved in it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah! Classic outhouse. Wait, does it have like a window on the one side so that you can look off into the forest while you're pooping?
No, because the entire city is surrounded by stone wall.
Oh. Those are the best outhouses, though.
I agree.
You have truly not taken a shit until you have taken a shit.
It's like the roof toilet in Scrubs.
I don't know what that is.
Look it up.
Oh my gods. The roof toilet.
So, he pulls a box out from underneath the bar and opens it up and begins to pull out some keys for you guys for the rooms. The rooms themselves, there are enough for each of you to essentially double up.
No.
There are a couple, like Athelstan has already indicated they would be alone, so that's fine.
I'm never alone. Never.
That's true.
You know what I mean, sassy pants. So Athelstan and Mina will have one room to themselves, and the rest of you can kind of figure out your sleeping arrangements from there. So Keelai and Gabriella, Fly and Atlas, Alaric and Baelish.
Sure.
And I'm sorry,
Alaric
I missed
is
how much it was.
Alaric is not aware of this the entire time until he's opening up his door and Baelish follows him in.
Yeah.
And Baelish is like, all right, roomie, who's Big Spoon?
Probably.
And he's just like,
Yeah.
Goes back downstairs for a beer.
The rooms are a golden night, and that also provides you with obviously the fire, the bed, the bath, and breakfast in the morning.
What about the Body Works?
Bath and Body Works.
Not sponsored.
And Beyond.
Also not sponsored.
You can get a universal remote there, but careful if you get it from a man named Christopher.
And especially if you get it in the Beyond section.
Especially if you are Adam Sandler.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. That movie's sad. Like, there's like a good 5-10 minutes where it just gets really fucking depressing.
With the rain, I sob every single time, and I'm just
I get it's an American movie, so it has a happy ending. But for like a good 10 minutes, you're like, damn,
it's fucking dismal.
Yeah, it is.
Fucking spoiler. No, okay, it is a spoiler alert. It is a spoiler, so I'm not gonna say it. It's fucking upsetting.
The ADHD is strong tonight.
It is.
I took my meds today, but it's also 9:30 here, so they've long worn off. I took my meds at 8 o'clock this morning. No,
I'm
10 o'clock.
directing you all to the bedrooms that you will be in.
That we will be bedding.
That we will get stabbed in the middle of the night.
Absolutely.
Well,
No,
upon,
don't stab me. I'm
like,
cute.
maybe somebody's gonna get stabbed.
Oh no.
Upon entry, Athelstan is going to do the cursory look over of the room because he was trained.
So the tiefling that guided you here has indicated that your room is a little bit different. It's not an adjacent, like it's not an ensuite type situation, but there is a small bedroom with a large bed. There is a night table in the corner with candles lit on it, and he shows you the room. You have to go out into the hallway and into the other room. There is a bathtub for you to bathe in.
What is this?
What is what?
Open, close, open, close. Oh, is it a balcony?
That's the door.
Oh!
And then
No,
a window.
Oh, it just allowed me to open and close it. This was an indicative. Oh, they're curtains.
Yep.
Gotcha. Love that. What an adorable little room.
It's very nice, yes.
He'll close the curtains if they're open. I don't know. But yeah, I guess an investigation check to double check on like the locking mechanisms and whatnot, and just being aware of his surroundings and shit.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. Go ahead and make an investigation check for anybody who wants to check out their room.
It looks clear. I rolled a 10.
Super comfy.
Wait, what stat? Ow.
Investigation.
Okay.
That's
God, I'm on fire tonight.
intelligence, right?
Sure.
Oh. I mean,
Okay.
Investigation is
Eli rolled a
intelligence, yes.
7.
Keli, this room is very nice.
People can't see our rolls, right?
Distracted
Oh,
by
shit.
Gabriella, it's fine.
I rolled a 2.
Vayla's just testing out the bed. Give us a grumpy one-liner, Affy, as Alaric. After
You're
Valish
sleeping
makes a
on the
dirty comment.
floor.
Cocks in a inviting eyebrow.
Yeah, you do.
Little chest
Alright.
hair.
So, Valish and Alaric, your room is very nice. It's very, very warm. You can see that there is the promised adjoined bathroom. And there's some bookcases with a bunch of books on them. There's the bed. Obviously, there's only one bed. And there is an armchair.
Ooh.
There was only one
Only
bed.
one.
There was only one
It
bed.
was cold.
And it's snowing outside.
It's my favorite,
My favorite trope.
trope.
Absolutely.
Somebody call Aster and Ram,
Snowed
especially
in.
after this last week.
Snowed in. It's cold, and there's only one bed.
I'm trying to, but I feel like
Kill me.
Actually, no, maybe Ram... Does Ram run hot because of their inner
No,
mechanism?
Ram runs cold. We figured this out already because Aster likes cold things, so Ram is cold.
But Ram... what do you mean? Aster's a snake!
She likes cold
She likes
things.
cold
I don't
things.
know. Ask Keisha.
So Gabriella and Keli, your room is also nicely appointed. There is a set of curtains that block the bathing area, and there's like a little vanity in there that you can use to freshen up. Again, there's only one bed. Suddenly feel like I'm running a Crushes and Cryptids.
Well, we also have
Or
to take
thirsty
into
sword
account-
lesbians.
Or Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
I mean, for one thing, Atlas usually sleeps standing up. So that's just going to be something to wake up to in the middle of the night when you get up to go pee. And you see like a horseman with his whole torso flopped over while he's sleeping.
So
I mean, it is a sight. It's very hauntingly beautiful.
It's
Shiny.
something.
He's weirdly
Bit-
shiny. Well, he's...
He's just
so
so-
Atlas and Sly, your room as well. Very, very warm and comfortable. There's books, there's one bed and a sofa, and of course the adjoined bathing room.
I love that neither of us are going to use like the sofa or the chairs because Sly sleeps in the bathtub and Atlas can't. Atlas just physically can't.
Yeah, I really do. I really appreciate how the prince got the fucking
Damn it,
closet
Agni.
room.
I'm out of.
But to be honest,
words,
I like it,
so-
especially since it's further away from everybody else.
That was my thinking.
To be alone. Well,
Well,
All right. So, is there anything that anybody would like to do before they turn in for the evening?
take a fucking bath because I don't remember the last time we did that. Even while we're being shown to our rooms and stuff, when the down like little moment here when the tiefling bartender / innkeeper indicated that there were adjoining bathrooms with hygienic furnishings and whatnot. Athelstan just turned around and looked at Keli and said, "You smell."
So do you.
I know. We should fix that. Everybody should fix that.
I plan to.
Good.
Baelish is definitely having a bath because I don't think he's bathed since we got him out of prison.
Nope.
Didn't
Oh
he?
my
There you go.
Didn't y'all find him? He was covered in his own mess and everything because torture is a thing.
Yeah, I think so.
He
I
was
would
pretty
assume so.
banged up. I wouldn't say he was covered in his own mess. There was a bucket in the cell.
Yeah,
Just
do you know
saying.
how hard it is to hit a bucket?
A little easier for you.
I've played a lot of coin toss games with buckets, and let me tell you, I have earned some hefty acorns. We played for acorns.
Is the coin a word for poop? Because that's what I was implying.
No, because
Just stop.
Oh, that's what you. No, not you. I was wondering I didn't understand what Maggie meant at first because it's really hard to hit the bucket, and in my head I was like, well, we've
I was talking
tossed
about
coins into the
bedpans.
bucket. It's actually once you have practice, it's actually pretty easy. But no.
I mean,
Wow.
practice. Yeah, we're not going to go any further than that.
I've worked with horses.
The conversation is canceled.
Horses are amazing creatures, but they are fucking cantankerous bastards. You will clean out their stall, you will shovel all their shit, you'll lay down fresh hay, you'll make this place, you'll even throw out some lavender rushes, cause it fucking is amazing, and you care for these beautiful beasts. And as soon as you close them back into this stall, they just let loose the kickstand and let it rip.
Atlas
Cats with litter boxes when you clean them out.
Yeah.
Atlas will be good.
I'm
Atlas would
so bad for that. I'll do it and she'll just go and stare at me and be like, yeah?
Yeah,
Joke's
what of
on
it?
you.
What of
Uh-huh.
it? Hang on.
in the water dish.
Is it more acceptable to talk about our cats pooping than it is to talk about horse piss?
Plush is calling us out, so
Plush is
let's get
calling
back
us out.
on back on target here. What's everybody doing?
Atlas wants
Bathing.
to water their plants
Bathing.
to talk with Sly about Gordon, he supposes.
Okay.
So is he the one, Atlas would say, and he's using shape water to put water in his little babies.
Okay.
Just making a little little terrarium in right there,
They're thirsty. You cut to their room and they both have the towel turbans on, face masks.
They haven't bathed yet. They just have the towel
Oh.
turbans
There's no
on.
the towel turbans and face masks.
Well, you have to exfoliate. You have to
With the
clay,
towel
and then when you
thing
go and you bathe, then you wash all the clay.
Mm-hmm. We have cucumbers on our eyes and we have our nails did.
Sly's eating the cucumbers.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Don't ask where we
I
got all
ate
this
a
stuff.
cucumber yesterday. I don't think I'm ever gonna eat a cucumber again. I should, knowing most of the people here, I should probably clarify.
Why won't you? Why? What's wrong with cucumber? It's fucking delicious.
No,
I made
God.
cucumber sandwiches the other
What's my
day.
hair doing?
No.
We keep going off track. I'm sorry.
Thinking
It's
about
okay.
Gordon, my hair's no, I wanted cut up veggies for lunch yesterday, so I cut up some cucumber, some carrot, and some cauliflower, and I took a bite, and the cucumber was fine, and I took a bite of the cucumber, and there was a bug in it, so I lost my shit and was like, fuck no, and I cried, fuck no.
Well, thankfully the cucumbers on your eyes now do not have bugs in them.
Can I make sure of that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. You can make an investigation check.
I'm just gonna tell. Should I tell you? No, I won't. Never mind.
No, tell me what. Tell me what.
No,
Tell me what. Is it about figs and how there's always wasps in them?
no,
How about we focus?
yes.
No, wait. Now I need to know.
Freshly cut broccoli.
No,
Stop it.
because the DM is rolling stuff, and now I'm nervous. So
No, I know. They were gonna keep talking about it unless I said it.
Okay, so yeah, there are no bugs in your cucumbers. You're fine.
I love how she rolled to determine
Yeah.
whether or not there were, in fact, bugs. And how many there were.
So you and Atlas are
Be prepared.
towel turbans, cucumbers on the eyes, and your Atlas has asked you about Gordon. Is he the one?
I hope so.
He would
To find him
smile.
first. And I have to apologize for running away. First.
Well, hopefully when he sees you, he'll understand, and it will all be worth it in the end.
I hope so. Just start crying.
We'll see him soon or later.
The best part of every slumber party is when one of them cries.
Cries.
What did you name your plants?
There is Straw Herald, blue, but it's like Corbin blue, the BLEU. And then there's one more. What the fuck is the other? Barry. His name's Barry.
Yes.
Derek Barry.
What about the creeping Jenny that Athelstan made for you?
Oh, Jennifer Walters.
How's the frog?
The frog, his name was Frogsworth.
Oh yeah, I forgot they disappear after an hour.
Who?
But Alice is gonna name each one and assume it's a different frog.
It is a different frog.
Sure.
Can you imagine
There's
being
another
a
one.
frog that is cursed to be snatched from their home?
The frog's name is Bob.
No, it's
that's what
not.
we decided about the rat.
This one is Mr. F. She's rival. And then I give Sly a berry, a blackberry, a strawberry, and a blueberry with love. They're
And,
delicious.
like, I hug them and get it all over my face. I'm like,
Hearing the crying, hearing the crying.
You're
I'm
on
pretty
the
sure
other
that-
side of the hotel. You hear nothing.
Oh, good. Okay, never mind.
Keli and Gabriella, you sort of hear something, but it could be laughter, it could be giggling, it could be crying.
Yeah, knowing those two, Keela is just gonna like assume that it's giggling,
Okay.
and like she's gonna let Gabriella bathe first and
Excuse
all that
me.
stuff.
Excuse me, sorry, I hate to interrupt, but there is a naked pussy on channel.
Oh my god, look at that naked pussy.
Oh my god.
I love how Rob just like
What?
Wait, what? Where?
was like scanning all the boxes.
That's a
No,
good
go
cat.
like-
No butthole. No butthole.
What?
No buttholes on camera. Dinky little alien.
All right,
Oh, fine.
so
A naked pussy is fine, but a butthole is where we draw the line.
it is where we draw the line because that's where poop comes from.
What? That's where who come
I mean, like, never mind.
girls
Keli,
do that.
I were all
so-
bathing.
Keli,
I
so
wouldn't know.
you assume that Sly and Atlas are just giggling in their room.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Letting Gabriella bathe and like reading one of the books that I found in that creepy ass house.
Okay. So Gabriella is more than happy to bathe because, like Valish, she too has not bathed since she was broken out of prison.
Y'all gotta change the
Yeah.
water like 3 times.
Yeah. It's real gross. Real gross. So she kind of closes the curtains and you can hear like her bathing. Did I roll those books?
I would start with Lady of the Bracelets.
Okay.
You didn't tell me what's in any of them, but
All right. So
and
Lady-
also I just looked at my fucking inventory and realized that I have a fucking cloak of displacement that I completely forgot about until
done.
right now.
Well, you have that, so just remember that. I find it helpful to drag
Yeah, I
anything
won't
like
remember
that onto your actions tab and put it in the items so you remember if it has some sort of effect that you can use.
How do
I
you
haven't picked
do
up
that?
anything cool.
I'll do it for you later.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. So the Lady of the Bracelet appears to be a lesbian porn book.
Ah!
It takes you about
It found its target audience.
If it's like every other lesbian porn book, it takes almost the entire book to get there and then finally get there.
And
Yeah.
usually it's the way it's written is underwhelming.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. It is the tale of a maiden who was betrothed to some dude who was an asshole, and she ran away and became a pirate who wore bracelets all the way up her arm. And this was her
Clank, clank.
symbol.
You never sneak up on anybody with that shit.
She never did.
It's like Auntie Joanne.
All right.
I left that asshole. Now it got me a wife.
All right. And then when Gabriella's done, then I would bathe as well. But
Right. So she finishes up and helps change the water, and you're free to bathe.
do the thing.
Valish and Alaric. Valish?
Besides bathing,
Making Alaric
Does
extremely
Baelish
uncomfortable.
air dry?
making a lark
Yep.
yeah.
Baelish air comes out of the bathroom. Is it air drying? Are they air drying?
Oh,
You know,
absolutely
like
air
free
drying.
balling it, like
Yeah.
dripping.
Yeah.
Huh, I can't find the towels.
So
Alric's just like
Valish
right there.
comes out of the
No, I don't see them.
bathing room and stands in front of the fireplace, legs spread, hands on his hips, dangling everywhere. I couldn't find a towel.
Alric is like tinkering something. He's got like his like a magnifying glass or something. He's just like, so it's just like it's worse.
It's worse.
Source.
So as he's like huddled over, he's sort of like sat on the floor, and he's opens like his working chest basically. He has the cannon out on it and is tinkering on the insides.
Baelish has his cannon out
Yeah,
on
he
it
does.
now too.
So as
Flop.
Valish comes out and says that, and he looks up and he realizes what he's looking at, he puts his head back down and moves his head in such a way, and then just shifts some of the parts he's working on so that they're like blocking.
Shifts the parts, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the parts.
How many innuendos can we fit in tonight?
Give
A
me
lot,
another 5
knowing us.
minutes, and we'll be maxed out and be kicked off stream.
No.
So Valish, unfortunately, your very suave seduction techniques have no effect on Alaric
Does he care?
Too
Tonight.
bad.
for now.
Oh well. There's always tomorrow.
There is always tomorrow.
Like lays out luxuriously in the silk in the sheets.
Just like the fur kind of just a little bit over the crotchal
Tasteful
area.
booty. Tasteful
Yeah.
booty too.
Tasteful
you know?
booty.
Just doing that pinup girl type thing in the
Yeah.
bed with the
Absolutely.
fur covering the
Just
intimate areas.
Imagining that scene from 310 to Yuma where what's his name is like sketching the the hooker and talking about the Bible. I don't think people realize just how gay cowboys actually were. I'm just
Nope.
like,
Nope.
No idea.
they're like, oh, it's because they're manly. And I was like, well, what's more manly than two men being manly and rolling around the floor being all manly?
Total side note, unrelated, because I just thought of it. Yesterday was Heen's Heeniversary.
Oh,
So
Heeniversary, as in the time we determined that Heen was not a he.
no, as in Heen was brought home a year
Gotcha
ago.
date.
Adoptiversary.
Ah,
Your
okay.
found day, your
The gotcha
gotcha
date.
day.
Gotcha.
Heeniversary.
The
Yeah.
Heeniversary. That's wonderful. Happy
Now I need to
anniversary.
draw-
Heen.
Girl.
Okay, I'm gonna need a detailed description of Valish at some point. You should send me that, Affy, because I need to draw this, just like
Scene.
just this scene. First, I was initially thinking maybe it'd be funny if he like came out of the bathroom, it's just like steam all behind him and like tasteful steam cloud. But now I really like the image of him backlit by the fireplace, and all you see is is Alaric?
Look at your
I don't
screen,
think
Cedar.
I can see it. I don't think I've ever
Okay.
seen Alaric without his hat.
No, you
Is that
haven't.
a thing? Is that a thing?
You have not seen him without his hat.
Well,
Alaric sleeps in his hat.
Yeah,
up
yeah.
down to his eyes. Yeah, he's a cowboy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a law or some shit. Okay, cool.
So,
Thank you.
Alaric tinkers for a little longer before deciding not to sleep in the bed since Valish is already in there with his butt and balls everywhere.
I mean, there's plenty of room.
Good. I'm just gonna.
Does he not bathe? That's disgusting.
He
He's a
does.
cowboy.
He does bathe, but it is very much he goes in fully dressed and comes out fully dressed. Like there is no.
Is it
point.
the same clothes?
I don't know. I don't know what Alaric has for clothes.
He bathed in his clothes.
Probably.
Well, he probably like took them off.
He's
was just,
another
like,
dude.
repeatedly casting prestidigitation while he was bathing. It's like, I'm not going out there half clothed. Not going out there. I don't want to make any suggestions.
Yep. So Athelstan, what are you doing? Or rather, who's doing you?
Well, bathing is happening first. That's
course.
first. That's first of all. So like he's investigated this room. He rolled a 10, so like it looks clear. It looks like the door
Yeah.
locking mechanism is okay. The window can be barred pretty easily. There's not really, as far as he knows, any like any terribly thin parts of the walls or anything like that. So yeah, I guess he'll like take advantage of the inn's towels and whatnot, just like wraps one around his waist and goes to the bathroom, I guess, and to bathe, to like, get his soapy suds on,
You have soap?
Is there not soap? Of course he has.
I had to ask because I'm one of those people that also buy soap. And then I get made fun of for buying soap because I never actually end up using it.
Is there not a complimentary sliver of lye? But no, he probably brought certain things. His skin's he's got a very specific skin type, which he's had to come to terms with over the years.
Yeah,
but,
purple.
Eczema.
It's a combination skin. Oh gods, no, not like that. No. He's got very
Well-
clear skin. He is being provided the right chemicals and like oils to like. He takes good care of his body. Before he like does that. Yeah, like I think actually before the bathing, he'll probably go through his like little night because it's later evening, right?
Yeah.
Bit of light calisthenics and do some bathing and shit, and Yeah.
Is it like a slow motion scene of like him shirtlessly doing calisthenics and then like a luxurious skincare routine?
Yep.
Probably.
100%.
I mean, like,
there's
I'm assuming that his companion is never, of course, never makes it easy for him.
No, never. It's
Nope.
always hard.
It'd be like doing push-ups, and then she's just like right there.
Yep.
That's what
Kisses!
Ginger does.
She's like kisses.
Ginger literally does that when I do exercise on the floor. She tries to come up to me and eat me. Ginger's my dog.
That's what happens to Athelstan.
He gets to be my dog.
But no, yeah. after bathing and whatnot, oh yeah, he's never unarmed. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, that's cool. I guess that all goes smoothly because you're not telling me to roll anything. All right. After the bathing, he's like, I guess I'll throw on a linen shirt and some trousers and whatnot, and walk down the hallway to Keeli and Gabriella's room, and do a soft little knock. To do the thing that Keeli, I'm proposing this. I don't know what it is, but I felt like Celestials have, like, they're, like, taking care of their bodies and their hair is very important for some reason. And I guess Athelstan never really knew that, and knew why that was.
Snail's gone back to thriving, just so everybody knows.
Good. I was worried about Snail Face.
I would say you have some sort of celestial absolution that has been part of your routine since you can remember. Keeli, you would also have some sort of absolution, whether you partake or not after everything that's happened is up to you, but I would say it probably brings you closer to that sort of angelic side.
I was going to suggest maybe if Keeli is for this, if Artemis is for this idea that, if found in a situation like this where they're like out traveling and there's no one to comb and braid their hair, so Athelstan will do that for them.
Yeah,
and so
Keely will do yours.
so on and so forth. So like he shows up at the door and he's got a comb.
So by the time you arrive at the door, Gabriella answers it, and she looks at you kind of and signs what?
He makes a sign for Keeli, which I imagine is something like with its K. So for those of you who don't know, this is the finger spelling for K, and this is stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Keeli, where?
So she invites you in and closes the door behind you and gestures to the curtains that are closed, and you can hear like the splish splash making a.
Oh, good. Can't wait to travel without having to smell ya.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time.
Keely would not be doing that.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath.
My apologies. I forgot that Gabriella bathed before them, so I wasn't like sure.
That's okay. You wouldn't have known.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known. So once she hears you, though, then she would like finish up and come out because she knows what you're waiting for. So
like he's like toweled. His hair is still damp. It's like toweled off. He won't dare like comb it when it's like sopping wet because he's not stupid. You're not supposed to do that. It's very, very, very interesting hair. Nothing like any of his siblings or his father.
Nope.
Yeah, I guess he'll like glance around the room. Is there like a place to sit to be taller than someone?
There's like the chair in the corner, so like
yeah,
if he sat on the floor in front of me or whatever, then
so yeah, he'll sit in the chair and tap the floor in front of him with his bare foot. He's got like a not an elastic, but like a bit of ribbon,
leather cordage,
like, a little bit of cord in his teeth, and he's like pulling like the comb out of his pocket. And he's like, sit down.
All right, so Gabriella sits on the edge of the bed, and her hair is also like wet, and she's just sort of messily braided it. But she asks if it's okay if she just kind of watches.
Keely would motion to the floor in front of her. Do you want me to do yours?
Common would call that a braid train.
Braid train. The braid train.
Braid train! Choo-choo!
So Gabriella, with her black skin and her very, very white hair, sits down in front of you, Keeli. And she sort of hunkers herself down so it's easy for you to get at what you need to get at, and she flicks her braid back over her shoulder so you can do whatever it is you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
She
like,
just, comb through it and braid her hair for her.
Athelstan will go through the whole, like, motions of carefully, like, detangling, like, combing through and detangling stuff. And just, like, making the odd comment here and there, you know, like their relationship dictates and whatnot. And it's like, pulls a little harder on a snarl than maybe he needs to have. And, like, whenever they move their head in an awkward way, he just, like, kind of hugs it back into place or whatever. Goes through, gently kind of combs it, brush and, like, finger combs, oils through it, and then, like, braids it and whatnot.
Yeah, Keeley would do the same for Gabriella, but she would, like, because Gabriella has more hair than Keeley does, she would, like, do some intricate sort of, like, side braids that she would have done for Rika.
Okay. For Gabriella, you can tell as you're going through her hair, like, prison aside, hair was not really top of the priority list for this person. There's split ends. It's, ragged cuts, so you think at some point she probably pulled it over her shoulder and sliced it with a dagger. Like, it is not ASMR hair by any means.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, Athelstan's, like, looking over their shoulder and, like kind of reaches back into his one pocket and, like, pulls out the little box for, like, trims and stuff. Like, it's like a little hygienic kit, and just, like, offers it and, like, does the sign for scissors. Like, they both look, like, they don't even have to look at each other. They just see it and they're just like,
Yep.
It's just, like, digging in pocket.
Yeah, and so, like, she would hold it out so Gabrielle could see. Do you want me to fix your hair?
Got, like, some, like, little scissors and stuff, and
Yeah.
like,
She goes on to tell you in the very limited sort of hand speak that she knows that hair was not important. Survival was. Assassins don't usually care about their looks.
Athelstan will do his best.
You're safe now.
Will do his best to sign, like,
She can hear you.
She hears, though.
Oh, I forgot. I'm so stupid.
No, you're okay. I mean, you could be just signing and practicing. Like,
Yeah,
signing
signs
verbal.
and signing and speaking. He'll be like, existing is more than just survival.
Not when... And she makes a symbol that you don't really recognize. It's probably a name that she has created. Not when this symbol commands you.
Okay. Well, you're as safe as you can be right now.
And
Athelstan's
she
just
signs
like,
ghosts.
Yeah, exactly.
well, they're not here.
I won't if you don't want me to. It's totally up to you.
You get the feeling that she doesn't... Not that she doesn't want to be a bother, it's just like you don't have to make a fuss.
Literally, Athelstan is like, as like Keelite, just like he like cause Keelite, like, I'm assuming that Keelite talks in a way that Artemis is presenting them to talk, like that, like with like the gestures and like very emphatic and very calm and sweet speaking, and just like kind of tugs on their hair a little bit. He's like, just cut the fucking hair. No, he says, just trim her fucking hair.
Not without her consent. Our hair is important to us, just because it's not necessarily to her.
He's just, oh, I see. And he just like takes the corner of his mouth. It's like, I understand that. You're not a bother. We would not offer if we did not want to do it. I never do anything that I don't want to.
She kind of like looks over her shoulder at you both and...
Yes, we're very weird, I know.
Finger spells besties with a question mark.
Yes.
Besties?
B-E-S-T-I-E-S.
My reading comprehension is still just as astute as it was prior to our leaving home. I can read.
Yeah.
besties.
Don't let Sly hear you say that.
She kind of like, you can hear like this,
Yeah.
The laugh.
and you know, you can tell she's amused by this situation.
She's like, what a dumb fucking word.
Yeah. So Keelia would take care of her hair and, you know, do some really kind of like intricate braids that she would have done for Rirka.
Okay.
Just so that Gabrielle kind of has like a little boost.
Okay.
Give her a point of inspiration. She's had her hair cared for by a celestial being.
A fallen celestial
Getting
being.
Stuff. So I was like throwing.
Still magnificent.
And with that, with the ASMR absolutions completed for the evening, we are going to go on break. So stick around. If you're not subscribed, you may see an ad or 5. The pennies
the
that we
bills.
get from that actually goes back into the Vactaire for our Discord server, for the Nitro boosts, and our Humble Bundle giveaway. Humble Bundle.
I want a humble bumble.
Hubba soup.
I like Humble Bubble better.
Hubble
So.
Bubble soup.
Humble bubble.
Yep.
So we'll be right back.
Here's
Stick
a humble
around.
bumble.
And come back for, I don't know, maybe some more sleepover nonsense, or maybe they get attacked in the middle of the night. I don't know yet.
What? Wait, what?
Sure. Then you got lilac oil.
Hi, everybody. We're back. We were just discussing indigenous flowers to one of the realms, so
It's very important to me.
It's important.
I'm not denying this fact. However, as you all settle in for the evening, I need you all to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Great.
Love that. Oh, I forgot. There's like just this picture of fucking Valish on my screen. I don't know how to download that. Later. All right. Is it con?
You said
con
saving
save
throw?
or con check.
Saving throw.
We.
Wait, what? Who's making what?
Everyone is making a Constitution saving throw.
I rolled a 21.
Think. Actually, I don't know. Do wizards have bonus to con saves?
No, it's wisdom and intelligence.
Okay,
I
then
think.
there you go. Either way, it's fine.
11. That was real bad.
So, in the morning, as you all get up from your long rest, some having slept better than others, you all sort of move out into the parlor where breakfast is waiting for you to basically serve yourself. There's a bunch of dishes kind of set up on the bar top. Porridge, some bacon, some scrambled eggs, that sort of thing. Bread. And Atlas, as you kind of trot yourself out, you're feeling a little worn out. You slept okay.
I was pulling.
Yeah, you know, you were pulling the sleigh. It was cold. The snow was deep.
I mean,
you feel kind of punky. That's all. A little punky.
A what? I feel that's not a phrase we have here.
Punky?
No.
It means like a little, like not under the weather. You don't feel sick. You just feel kind of like tired and run down.
Do other people say this, and it's just not people? Well, you're in Canada. You're in Diet Canada, so you don't count. Theater, have you heard that phrase?
I don't know what the phrase was.
I don't even know the phrase either, so don't worry.
Punky.
Yeah.
Punky.
Hunky?
Punky with a P.
Punky.
P as in Paul.
I've heard that phrase.
P-U-N-K-Y. I've never heard the phrase before.
Okay, Rob and I are on the same team then.
How have you not heard it? My mother says it all the time.
Apparently I don't listen to your mother.
I mean, I'm not exactly a good example. I've done a lot of traveling, and I know a lot of different types of people from different places. I don't think I've ever heard the phrase uttered in New York.
No.
In such a way. So.
I mean, we say it here, but again, Diet Canada, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atlas is feeling very punky right now. He has a whole band that he's getting together. No, he's just not. He's kind of tired. He's kind of, shoveling his eggs slower than usual. He eats a lot, but
less pep in his step.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't really have to step anymore. He just
not really much clip in his claw.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's less in his hover.
Yeah, it's just like
Usually
there's like
less
sound effects.
Yeah, the Noom's a little quieter today.
Yeah. So were there real quick question, what kind of braid did Keelah work into Athelstan's hair last night when it was his turn?
Probably one that like she would always do, where it's like along the side and then like a bigger one.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. So like so Athelstan would come down. He just like kind of like a little bit quicker, gets down to hits the bottom step like. And like starts undoing his hair because he slept in it and everything. It's a little must on top and whatnot. Goes to sit down and like start eating with you all and everything like that. Looks at Atlas. And then looks at Sly.
What? Huh?
Sly
Eh?
is fine.
Nah?
As soon as you arrive, she's like, "Hi, bestie," and when you sit down, she purposely like reaches over and pets.
He's just like,
Meh.
you look like shit.
No, I look like a centaur, but thank you.
It's a turn of phrase, a metaphor. Not metaphor. What's the word?
Simile.
It's a simile. Thank you. Thank you,
It's
voice
not.
of God.
Yeah. I'm just not. Don't feel. Oh, good. Oh, I'm tired.
Athelstan looks at Sly again, a little more accusatory.
What?
I'm just. Cold.
What's the temperature like in this room, Affy?
Warm,
Outside.
comfortable. It's cold outside.
Can I make like a, I don't know, like a medicine or like an insight or something?
Now I'm scared because of that medicine check Sly had to make earlier with the random check. You remember that before, right?
I remember that too.
If you are trying to discern if Atlas is trying to deceive you, then
No, not like deceive. Like,
okay, so you can do a medicine check
that-
if you're
that
trying
is
to
a
like figure out
medicine.
what's up with him.
Are you gonna look a gift horse in the mouth?
Obviously.
You
Well,
can
I
look
rolled-
inside my
I rolled
mouth.
a total of 5, so
Oh no.
That is
the morning breath is very distracting. He's just like,
you are not super familiar with centaur anything other than half horse, half person.
What's wrong with my mouth? Eggs?
it's eggs.
Oh, should I not eat as many? I can eat, and then
You eat whatever you want.
I go to
Eli.
grab the porridge and I pour. You know, is there like milk on the table or water or anything?
Probably.
I like pour a bunch of like cold milk in it and stir it around so it's soup, and then I just drink it because I'm too tired to chew.
Oh,
Okay.
Eli,
yeah.
you're good at the whole healer thing. What's wrong with the horseman?
Some days. Okay. Can I also inspect Atlas?
Yeah, you can do a medicine check.
I put down the bowl and I reopen my mouth. I have nice shiny white teeth. Very shiny.
Did you not sleep? Oh
Nice.
shit. They rolled a 25.
Fuck.
So, as you are looking over Atlas, you see, bags under the eyes, a little bit of a bloodshot in the eye, a little paler than normal. And then you see some marks on his wrist.
Why are you staring at me? I did a face mask last night. I don't feel like my skin is glowing. Maybe I was allergic.
What kind of marks?
Oh,
What kind of marks?
2 or 4 puncture marks. Right
A
around the
sea
vein.
lamprey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. And I hold out Atlas's wrist to Athelstan. Knew there was something fucking wrong.
Athelstan will like look at the wrist, look at Atlas's wrist, and then like look at Atlas. Okay, first question, and I need you to not be talking in circles about this. Are you on bubble?
What is bubble?
Next question. Can you remember how you got these?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember though, right? Voice of God?
You have no idea.
Pray to
Okay,
God.
just
Sky Daddy has spoken.
There's just a divine no.
yeah.
So how small are these puncture holes? These puncture wounds?
Tooth-sized.
Okay, how close together are they though? 'Cause
Mouth-sized.
It's good,
Yeah, but like,
but like
Mouth size
Atlas's
and
mouth
big
or
mouth
like
size?
Genie's mouth.
everybody's got different teeth, okay? Athelstan literally has fucking shark teeth.
You can't really determine that because you're not taking dental samples from everyone. Unless you intend to do so, in which case that is another statement altogether.
Did you lock your door last night? It may not matter, but that's a good
In
thing.
Atlas's culture at the carnival, do people lock things or no?
Didn't
When
do
you
anyway.
are traveling between like stops, no, not really. When you're stopped, yes.
I would have locked it then, and also Sly's in there, so I would have wanted Sly protected. So yes, I did lock it. If there was window locks, I
Bless
probably
you.
looked at those too. As you can tell, I'm from Cleveland, and my mom is from New Jersey. So you always check every
Allergies are
single
so much
lock in the
fun.
hotel.
I'm from New York. Woo!
Yeah.
So yeah, you recall securing your room before going to sleep.
Yeah. I probably didn't. If there was a window in the bedroom, though, I would have. And I mean the bathroom, which most bathrooms, unless you're in Europe, don't have windows. I did not go in there because that was Sly's domain. Also, I don't really fit. So I would say I did all the ones in the main room, the windows, the door. I didn't go in the bathroom. That's where Sly was
Oh
staying.
yeah,
And
that's fine.
I don't fit.
Athelstan will like pull up the sleeve on his linen shirt and like check himself too. Like, everybody, kind of give yourself a little quick look over.
Could you check my ankles?
If
No.
you
Would-
are inspecting yourselves, you can make medicine checks for yourselves.
Can I reach my ankles to look at them? How
Your front
ankle
ankles for sure.
How ankle horse?
Wisdom.
Think of the lumbar support that is needed. Well, I rolled a 6.
Athelstan
rolled
and
a-
Baelish, like Athelstan, you've got some new marks, but you know where they're from.
I rolled a 22.
On yourself, Atlas, you do see the one on your wrist, and that's all you see.
And I'm like checking Keli like behind, like on the back of their neck where they might not be able to see and shit, like moving their braid out of the way if it's still braided and shit. Just letting that roll, yeah. I'm assuming, yeah.
So in
I'm
total,
assuming.
you find the bite marks on Atlas's wrist. You find bite marks on Alaric's neck. You find bite marks on Baelish's thigh.
Ooh.
You find
Literally,
Like
Baelish
where the
has,
vein,
just,
like where that big vein is.
Yep.
Yep.
You find Gabriella is also marked.
I was gonna say
Gabriella
was nice and
has
posty.
2 marks.
Where?
Her wrist and her neck.
Why?
Athelstan has no marks. Did I miss anybody?
Did you say anything about
Oh wait,
Sly?
yeah, me.
Sly and
Sly.
Oh, Keli, you do not have any marks.
He's Sly.
Sly.
Sly has one on her neck.
What about my berries? Do they look fine? Atlas checks them.
Your berries are fine.
Okay.
However, as
The
you pick up,
vampire eats the color red.
as you pick up Straw Herald,
yes.
you hear a faint voice in the back of your head. Careful.
I blink and I go, guys, I'm not even using speak with plants and Straw Herald is talking to me.
You sure it was the plant?
Yeah, insight check to see if Atlas is crazy. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Go ahead and make an insight check. Oh, and Genie is also bitten twice.
Twice bitten.
But where?
One.
Neck and wrist.
Is it once bitten, twice shy? I don't remember the lyrics to
Can't-
the song.
Yes, that's
Can't
the
bite your
correct.
own neck.
I can try.
Or can you?
I don't even want to think about the body physics. That's just really upsetting to think about.
Is if you think about it, is Atlas's whole upper body just a neck for the horse part?
Oh, yeah.
I'm upset.
What? I'm just asking.
I
mean,
upset.
yeah. Logically, yeah. I have thought about this before. I'm not gonna lie. This has been something that has popped into my head more than once. Especially during the whole centaur, human, like, yeah.
Yeah.
The internet is a deep, dark place.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody look injured? Or is it just like a drained kind of thing?
Atlas is the only one that appears to be kind of run down.
Went to town on the big one.
Straw Herald, what other wisdom do you have to share with us?
Don't drop me.
Straw Herald asked not to be dropped. I do not drop my children. He is my friend.
Athelstan will, like, look at Keela and be like, and say in, like, Celestial, fucking vampires. Again.
Yup.
Do you guys
After
want to
what
talk?
we found in Ladies Tier, are you surprised?
Well, no. And he speaks in common, considering that Lord Hill died in my arms. Was killed in my arms. But also back where he was. How do we approach this? It's either somebody in the inn or it's one of us. Athelstan will kind of, like, look around in case who's awake. Like, is the tiefling, is the innkeeper in?
The tiefling is not behind the bar. It
portly
is
dude.
a dwarf that's standing on a crate.
Shall I fetch you a box?
I haven't done it in a while, but I could try to call on some of my magic, at least for those of us here.
Okay. To do what?
Effectively turn undead.
Athelstan kind of thinks about it for a second. He's like,
You would never have seen Keela use this.
yeah, no, he's thinking about it, and he's like, yeah, I know, yeah. He's like thinking about it. He's like, you know what? Actually, I'm curious. Do that.
Okay.
How many times a
I
day can
will
you do it?
turn undead.
Wait, hang on. Who else is in the room with us?
Your party, the dwarf.
Mhm.
There is the portly gentleman who is sitting now at one of the tables, and that's it.
What's he eating for breakfast?
He
Breakfast?
is
He's
having
having dinner for breakfast.
a liquid breakfast.
What's the
What
liquid?
level are we right now?
Are
5?
you going to look?
4?
Do you ask him what liquid he's drinking?
No.
I'm just
Peter
asking.
was asking. I was just saying, like, oh, is it blood? Wine?
The
Breakfast wine?
it's a pewter tankard. You can't see through it.
No
I can-
self-respecting bartender pours wine into a pewter
The
tankard.
tankard.
What if they're not self-respecting?
Well, if you
There
come
it
into
is.
my house and you ask something silly like, "Do you have anything that's not a mug?" and I'll be like, "The dog's dish."
If you could drink out of mugs, why wouldn't you drink out of mugs? Mugs are cute. And they come in multiple shapes and sizes.
Yes.
Oh,
they
that
do.
one's cool. It's like a mushroom log.
Yeah.
I've always
Tink
wanted
made
to
it.
grow a mushroom log at my house.
You should. They're fun.
I can do it once a rest right now. One more level and I can do it twice, but right now I can do it once.
Is it worth waiting until all of the folks in this tavern are available? But they also, well,
People can leave.
We have the whole fucking city. We have the whole fucking city. City, village,
It's a town.
Town.
whole town.
What are
Alaric never told us that this happened to him, did it? Did he?
No.
Shit.
He did not indicate to anybody that he was feeling a little worn out.
Well, he got bit on his neck.
No, but back in Ladies Tier, he also got bit. But we know that over the table. We don't know that in game.
It's meta knowledge.
Mhm.
I mean, it's up to you.
Did he get bit?
He woke up drained. He was the only one.
I don't remember that.
That's why I've been saying that I think that fucking Jeannie is a vampire this whole damn time. Because it happened the day she showed up. And also, by the way, her name was Jillian when we were in town, and you changed it on us.
I mean, some of us aren't editing everything and like have access to all of that knowledge so that way we can post it on YouTube and whatnot. Check out our YouTube.
That's Keeli's over the table knowledge. That's Artemis's over the table knowledge. Keeli doesn't
Yeah,
know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, not all of us are.
I thought I was
posting all
going
of our-
fucking crazy. Because I was like, that is not the name that you fucking said earlier.
No, it wasn't.
And then I was like, it was not the name that you said, so...
All the
Anywho.
things you said. All the things you said.
All right. Well, do it. But even if it turns up nothing, I'll at least have satisfied my curiosity for something unrelated.
Okay, well, I will
You know what I'm thinking, Affy?
do...
This will be interesting.
Here's my shit here. Okay.
I'm scared for Straw Harold. He's my favorite one.
Feed me Seymour.
Do you say
No,
that out
no.
loud, Atlas?
Well, I don't know what Keeli's doing, but Atlas is like in awe of Straw Harold becoming sentient on his own. And he's just like, you are so special. You are wonderful.
This
You
turns
are
into Little House.
valid.
If this turns into
It's gonna
Little
turn
Shop
into
of
a
Horrors,
little shop of horrors. I was just
Yeah.
thinking that.
Look, Straw Harold is gonna grow some really big, luscious red lips.
Mhm.
You are beautiful. You are kind. You are precious. Just giving it positive feedback that his mother never gave him.
Athelstan will like kind of stop and like turn back around and be like, "Who hurt you?"
My mother, but I still love her, and I love you, Straw Harold. I kiss him on the little. What's the part where it connects to the stem and the fruit?
The
You know, the-
stamen?
Stamen?
No, not the gonads. The you know, the little leafy part that connects the strawberry to the plant. I don't know if that has a name.
The leaves.
It's called
The
the leaves.
connecting leaf part.
Yeah, I kiss him there.
Okay.
He doesn't just eat me or anything.
It's like bite you in the
Rule
mouth.
8. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no!
Sorry, I'm just reading my War Domain stuff just to make
Do
sure I'm not
you-
missing anything
I've
here.
actually heard that. I call them leaf hats, but I'm pretty sure they're called trusses.
Oh, okay.
I like leaf
Well,
hats better.
Yeah, I like leaf hat as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Name
they.
plant such weird shit.
Did you ever make little hats out of acorns? The little.
Always. Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
That was so fun.
Make like little shields too.
Mm-hmm.
Little warriors.
Atlas, do you think Straw Harold has thoughts?
I mean, he's talking, so I would assume so.
All
I
living
can talk.
things have thoughts.
Do you want me to talk to the others? I can cast Speak with Plants.
Okay. So everybody within 30 feet of me has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Everyone.
Okay.
who's- Everyone, or like everyone who's
Everyone or everyone
undead.
It each undead that's within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
Okay.
As far as I know, I am not undead yet. Affy, am I undead? If I'm undead, you would have to tell me.
Make a wisdom. No.
It's like being a cop. they
Well,
have to tell
okay,
you.
so that's a good question.
They don't
Do the
actually
people
have to
who were
tell you.
born in the
No, I
domains
know they don't
count
have
as
to.
undead?
No, they were born. They are alive.
Okay, they're
They just
like
don't have
people.
souls.
Okay,
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
like gingers.
Yeah, what you know of how the domain recycles souls is
Yeah.
they're
Did Atlas
basically
say that? Like,
resurrected.
literally, Athelstan's
No,
like,
Alice
hey,
did not say that. He does
literally,
not.
like, hey, watch your mouth about gingers.
He does not have bias against gingers.
And on top of that, like, yes, they're called the shells or husks or
Sometimes it's
soulless. It
complicated.
depends on which domain you're in, but they're still alive. They just
don't have souls.
they just don't have souls.
Okay, that's fine. I just wasn't really sure because I don't think we ever established that specifically. So
Yeah, it
at least not that I.
it's a little bit of a hazy area, but you're able to determine, like, just from your travels so far, that like, husks are alive. They are sentient, they have feelings, but those feelings are generally limited to fear or sadness or whatever.
Okay. So yeah, Keeley kind of like takes a deep breath and kind of like looks at the ceiling for a second. She's like, all right, showtime, and puts her hands together and kind of
So you hook your thumbs.
does the thing she hasn't done since the war.
Yeah, you hook your thumbs into your wedding rings. Start to pray. And Athelstan in particular, you can see just
Looking
sort
straight
of
at her.
the wispy hints of the shroud that you saw 2 days ago.
Mhm.
Just, kind of in the corner of your eye, but if you look at it straight on, it's not there. But when you look away, you can just
Like
sort
a
of
heat
see.
haze.
Oh, he's familiar with
Yeah.
that kind of look, with that
Exactly.
kind of like
You're
taking
familiar with
information.
Castle
He tilts
Rex
his
is not a unhaunted
He
building. So
tilts his head
Yeah.
just so he can watch
Yeah.
it like full on without looking full on.
yeah, like a 3D picture where you have to like unfocus your vision to see the picture.
Yep.
So you can see it sort of out of the corner of the eye, and if the rest of you do focus, you do see this as well. Just again, a very, very faint haze, the halo and wings and this sort of corrupted visage of an Asmar. You cast out this turn undead spell or prayer, and nothing happens.
Huh.
Yeah. She looks
That was
at.
boring.
I don't know if it worked or not. I haven't done that in a long time.
Well, nobody seems to be running for their lives to get away from you, so I'm a little disappointed.
Me too.
Do you guys want to talk to Straw Herald? Can they hear Straw Herald?
Tell us what you know!
Everybody else was kind of busy strip searching each other. So
In the middle of the bar.
in the middle of the bar. So while Straw Herald was speaking to you, they did not hear anything.
Oh, so you guys didn't hear. Do you guys want to? Do you want me to ask him any questions for you?
You know, Atlas, it's hard for me to... I'm not saying I don't believe you, because stranger things have happened, but, is this plant? You said that you had not cast speak with plants. This plant
No,
is
he's
speaking to you.
Yeah, he's the only one. I get out Corbin Blue and Derek Barry. Do they have anything to say to me?
What do you ask them?
What's up? Are you guys sentient too?
So as you're staring at Blue and Barry, they are plants.
Yeah.
And then all of you hear, "Sup, dude?"
Oh no. It's the fucking sentry.
However, it didn't come from Blue or Barry. It came from Jennifer Walters.
Oh, fuck.
Oh shit.
The hell did you do, Athelstan?
This is new to me.
This is Jennifer Walters. Did I tell you I named her?
You did not. He gonna get up close and personal with this thing.
This is your progenitor,
My love.
Athelstan.
Athelstan, does this sound like your
We
head
having a
friend?
staring contest.
You don't have eyes.
Lots of eyes. How would I be able to see you otherwise?
You know, you're actually right now that I think about plant biology. This usually doesn't happen. And no, she's not in my head.
Okay, but the person that only you can hear, that none of us can hear, is this what they sound like?
No, it is not. I love this is fascinating. Tell me about yourself. What did you say their name was? Well,
Do you have a name already? Did you name yourself before I named you?
real quick question. Did Athelstan make Straw Herald? I don't remember this.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
That was
Straw
one
Herald
of the
was
original
bought.
plants.
No, Jennifer's good. I'm good with Jennifer. Jenny.
Jenny.
Jenny,
Oh,
can
my
I
Jenny.
try casting a spell on you?
Can I make an Arcana check or a Nature check? Like an
Nature or
Athelstan
Arcana.
Nature check?
Yep. Thank you for asking, Valish. What is it you want to do to me?
I want to see if you have actual thoughts.
Sure, go for it.
I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts.
You cast Detect Thoughts onto this plant, and you hear, "My name is Jenny. I am Jenny. I am Jenny. I am Jenny." But then you also hear the very complex, like talking through in that voice of how mitosis and cell division and all of that other stuff works.
What's the cycle called?
What's the what?
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. Thank
Yeah.
you. So
I was going the Krebs cycle, but that's what we do.
talking.
There is no sun here. Bugs no eat. I love that book.
So it's like rapping to itself, but it's also yeah,
Straw Herald and Jenny
talking
rap
itself
battle
through yeah, it's talking through itself through photosynthesis while rapping.
Well, Valish?
It is thinking about its name and how to create food for itself.
Well, that's to be understandable. Everything that is living has thoughts. But the fact that we can hear
gets it.
course I
You
do.
usually, if I were to do this on any other plants, I wouldn't get
Because you don't speak their language.
thoughts.
The language of the flowers.
But now you can. But now apparently they can speak our language.
Or at least a couple of them.
Yes, indeed, this is interesting. My love, is this something that you have anything to add to? Because I've never done something like this before, and I did give Atlas this plant.
No, my love. My plants tend to not speak unless
Keep their
spoken
thoughts
to.
to themselves, yeah. Jenny, when did
Interesting.
you start to feel as if you could speak? When did you feel heard?
I don't know, man. Atlas just, you gave me to Atlas and he planted me, and then my name is Jenny. I am a plant.
Well, in my, and Athelstan would like lean back. He's like, "Well, okay, this might not have anything to do with our current situation. The fact that something is using us as their portable fucking Capri Sun.
I like the sun.
The sun is pretty great.
It's delicious.
Sunlight tastes like.
So is decomposition.
It tastes like
Sun.
sun.
Have you ever tasted the rainbow?
Oh man, what's a rainbow?
Oh, we'll find one.
Don't forget, Atlas. Technically, Jenny was just born recently, so
We'll have to find a rainbow for Jenny to taste.
There are so many
I
gay
have-
jokes I can make right now, and I'm
Yeah.
just gonna leave it alone.
I have no.
I would love to taste the rainbow. Not sponsored.
I would love to be sponsored.
by Skittles.
Anyone?
By anybody at this
Anyone?
point.
Anyone? Bueller?
Skittles has a big budget, I assume.
Yeah, but like they have that big budget. Never mind. Athelstan like kind of pushes back from the table a little bit and just like, I'm not sure where this is going, if anywhere. Maybe this is just something that is a quirk of being around a sparkly, shiny himbo horse. Man.
A horse bow.
Horse bow.
Bojack horse man.
Are there any other plants around the building other than the ones that Atlas has?
Yes, actually, there are a couple of potted plants in the lobby area. There was actually a plant inside of Gabriella and Keeli's room. There was one in Jeannie's room.
Just
One
one of the
inside
plants.
Atlas's.
One of the
There
the
was
plants
not
that I
one
can
in that.
see.
There
Okay.
was
Just
not
gonna
one
slide the
Athelstan
detect
room.
thoughts
Okay.
over to that.
So
See if
moving
it picks up
the
anything.
detect thoughts off of Jennifer Walters to like the plant that's sitting on the edge of the bar.
Yeah.
No thoughts.
Head empty.
Yeah,
Just
that's what I figured.
just photosynthesis.
Is there like what does
Name of
it
the
look
episode.
like when you cast this? Is there any like sparkly or like what's is just Veil or just Veilus just makes stupid face?
The components are you take out a copper wire, I believe, and
Detect thoughts.
Yeah,
think
it's like
so.
the dowsing rod. Like
Oh, it's copper piece. Copper
Copper
piece.
piece.
you're waving it around. You're waving it around, and Athelstan's like, you don't want to point that at me. I'm warning you right now.
Yeah, it's just like a verbal semantic with a piece of copper, and it's just like whatever the incantation is, and just over this copper piece.
And I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be dirty.
aren't
You
you?
will not. You will not like it. No, I'm really not.
Oh, I assume that. That's why I'm not focusing on you. I don't want to get in whatever is in there.
Just
I don't
me.
want to get inside you, but I wouldn't mind getting inside
Getting
you.
this-
No.
Pat, pat, pat.
Okay. Do you see? Does he do that? Do you do that?
He does.
He does.
Oh no.
This is gonna
Athelstan.
become a thing.
Is he across the table from me? Where is he seated in comparison to me?
Everybody's kind of like all over the place because you literally strip searched and now you're talking to a couple plants.
As his hand settles
Athelstan.
on Athelstan. Well, too late, BB. As his hand settles upon Athelstan's head and does the pat, lifts up to pat again. There's just this like black sheening greenish blade just kind of cuts through the air out of almost nowhere up from Athelstan's linen sleeve, and it's just pointed directly at his larynx. I tolerate this from one of you. I will not tolerate it from two of you.
Sly immediately pats Athelstan on the head.
Kayla's just fucking dying.
Barely.
Why are you so mad, bro? They're just showing their affection for you.
Don't. And he just like in the blade. He just like kind of lifts his hand and the blade disappears. He's like, I don't like to be touched. When I don't want to be touched.
That's
It is
fair,
that
man.
simple.
Consent is important.
See, the plant gets me. Of course, the plant gets me.
Yeah, of course I do, man. We're connected.
I did
So-
not make this one.
Who made it? I thought you gave
Wait,
it to
didn't
me.
you? I thought you did.
I thought Straw was the one who was. Oh wait, no, Jenny's the
No,
one.
Jenny's
Jenny's
the-
the one talking.
Yeah, sorry.
Your Gordon voice.
We are connected. We are indeed connected.
A little more
Huh.
high.
Huh.
Does that mean we're also connected? I looked at Athelstan with my head cocked.
I will druidcraft a. Vinkavine.
It appears in your
Hello.
hand and flows over.
Hello.
No response.
You're
Oh my
out.
Okay, I do I add Alfie, could you add the Vinkavine to my character sheet if you do not mind?
Yeah. What are you calling it?
This will be I'll have to think of a name.
Vinny.
Victor.
This is Victor's secret.
Okay. And are you like you're just planting it, or are you just
Yeah, I'm gonna
carrying
put it in another pot.
Okay.
And I'll attach it to my saddlebags.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Victor.
No,
Can you
it's Jenny.
hear us? Yes, I know, Jenny. I know it's you. I am trying to see. I'm testing a hypothesis, and it seems to be failing so far.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But you know, science requires a lot of in-depth research, trial and
Mhm.
error.
Yes, quite a bit of it. A control,
Do-
even. And he stands
want-
up from the table.
Do you want me to cast Speak with Plants on Victor?
You can do whatever you want, my friend.
Okay,
I am
except for
very-
touch you, because you don't like to be touched.
I do not like to be touched.
Okay.
And he walks over to the bar while this is going on.
Okay. I cast Speak Plants and I try to talk to Victor's secret.
Okay. Is it so cold here?
Oh, we'll be going where it's warmer soon. I promise.
It's cold.
Uh-huh.
I don't like it.
I go to try to talk to Jenny with Speak Plants on, and I say, "Are you cold?"
Yeah, man, it's fucking freezing in here.
So it's the same voice.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Atlas, he kind of just like he puts them all on the table, and
What
he
about
like
the other two?
puts. Yeah.
Or 3.
Yeah, I put all 5. I have 5 plants currently. I put them all on the table and I hug them.
You got this one for free, too.
Yeah.
You put
All the-
them and just hug them.
Yeah, they're my children.
Just hug them to your big, billowy man bosoms.
Yeah. My
Okay.
lovely bunch of coconuts.
Yeah, you successfully hug your plants.
We're bonding.
This entire time, the deaf dwarf and the deaf portly man have watched you with no context because this has all been verbal. Strip search each other and then gesticulate wildly at a bunch of plants.
I know.
I turn to one and sign science.
It's like, I know.
As you move over Athelstan, the dwarf just kind of gives you a nod, asks what he can do for you.
Athelstan, with his very limited knowledge on the, well, not very, because we learned quite a bit, but growing knowledge, will ask if anything strange happened last night.
My shift started at 8.
Did the night shift say anything? You know, because like usually, like the night shift will let the morning shift know, like as they're checking out shit. You know,
A group
like,
of
hey, we got
people
some
came
fucking-
in.
Got some fucking weird hearing people.
A group of people came in, and he kind of like looks at all of you pointedly.
And he's like, yeah, they're special. Anything else?
No,
They're a special group of people. No? Have there ever been any strange occurrences known to happen in the evenings here in this town?
he kind of chuckles and begins to sign rapidly. So,
Stan will make the sign for slow down.
okay. So with Jeannie's help,
She came over. She saw like she's like sipping from her tea. She sees the rapid sign and she's like,
oh shit.
Alexander's like,
So he says, the banshee often comes in the middle of the night, and obviously they're unaffected because they can't hear. But
everybody.
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
She usually makes a mess of things that she can get to, but all the houses are blessed, so the undead cannot enter.
That explains why my spell didn't work.
The undead cannot enter, but yet he'll ask, any vampires?
She translates. They pass through every so often.
Any known attacks?
They don't stay when they pass through, so no.
Been 0 days since your last attack.
She explains that their strip search was
We got
looking
bit.
for marks.
We got bit last night by something. Who entered? Do you know, How many, aside from us, are lodging in this inn right now, if I may ask?
Oh, well, there's Old Harold, and she gestures to the portly guy.
Harold, huh?
Old Harold.
He is not made of straw.
And then there's Old Greg.
Old Greg. Like the...
He likes his Baileys.
From a shoe.
That was the skinny gentleman I think we saw last night. The one eating the breakfast for dinner. And then there's him, and he's brain fart. That's not his name. I'm sorry. I wrote it down. 1 second. I was trying to go without going from my
Only
notes.
the bartender and the portly gent. here in the room right now.
A lot to keep track of. You need to go to your notes.
Yeah.
No. I usually have like a good idea of everything.
Being the DM and like keeping track of all the pieces of your puzzle is like
Yeah, it's a lot.
Especially when you have ADHD like we do.
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
when your players have the type of ADHD that allows them to hyperfixate and hyperfocus on one small detail, and then they take that small detail and they run with it for several sessions until it's time for the big bad battle, and then they bring that one tiny detail that everybody kind of forgot about, and you're both upset and extremely proud of them because they just one-shot this whole thing.
Yeah. So this is Von Moore,
The dwarf?
the dwarf, and the tiefling from last night. His name is Kilek.
Can you spell that?
Kil apostrophe ECH.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Is this building blessed?
Yes, yes, of course. All of the buildings in here are blessed.
Athelstan will look at Jenny and just be like, some of us had no trouble getting in. And he'll smirk, like he'll just like smile like wide, like, and like go back to the table. When I say some of us, I mean me. And he sits down.
I don't know what that means.
You don't need to.
All right.
Thank you so much for translating.
Of course.
Your presence has been a boon here.
I am
All
happy
right.
to be of assistance.
He will share the information that he gathered from the bartender with the rest of us. That does not account for the town. They say that this building is blessed as well as all the other buildings, so technically, your typical undead would not be able to cross that threshold.
So what if it wasn't undead
Yes.
attacking? Just somebody that likes to bite people.
Nature Arcana for things that...
Yeah, like anything that would make any
'cause,
kind
like,
of sense
like
for it.
initially, the first thing I thought was like needles.
Medicine check again. To investigate much more closely the actual marks instead of just looking for the marks.
Athelstan's like,
You can see.
I accidentally closed my character sheet.
I don't like it.
So Athelstan, you can see where the marks are. Your purple skin, and you can see the green veins underneath.
Yep. Yep. That's my epidermis.
Seems to be on the level.
Do you recall anything or anyone letting themselves into our room last night?
I started at 8.
Oh no, I wasn't talking to you. My apologies.
I rolled an 18 if that matters.
Yeah, I'll get to that in just a sec. No, my love. I have no recollection of it. Keli, you can tell that these were done with precision, these bites. It could have been some sort of implement like a syringe. It could have been vampire teeth. They're so similar and done so like precisely. It's difficult to tell, but like an aged vampire would have no problem striking the vein on first shot.
Well, even that, with the size of the puncture wounds,
Yep.
very different between needle and bite marks.
Yep.
Bite marks would not be too clean. He's just saying that out. He's just like musing about that out loud.
Keela, are all the bite marks like identical? Like same distance apart,
We all
same
just, like,
I
size?
asked that already.
With
Did you? Okay.
with that, yeah, with your medicine checks, you have been able to determine that they are likely from the same source. You just don't know what the source is.
Okay. Great. Something else to watch out for.
Lovely.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey. If you bit me last night, raise your hand. Yes, I know. I've seen that work once or twice. It's actually quite hilarious.
Fair. Well, nothing we can really do about it right now.
Is there any sense of danger? Was there any sense of danger,
No.
Effie?
Your weapon would have alerted you as well as the rest of your companions.
Well, no, they were more than 30 feet away from me.
There were a couple that were close enough that they would have been alerted.
Ah. You don't think that something taking our blood and or inserting something intravenously into us would be considered danger?
Not necessarily. Not if they're trying to not hurt us.
Well,
If they're just eating.
They did not succeed with one of us, at least. If it's any of you, and he looks around the circle of us, and he's like, if it's any of you, you, I'm sure, are just doing what is natural. Fucking ask before you go sinking your fucking teeth into somebody.
You hear
Especially if
from
you're trying to
Jenny.
do it politely.
Consent is important, man.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Henry Crabgrass.
Yeah.
I don't like losing time. I don't like not knowing what is happening to me. Understood. Insight, all of you motherfuckers.
Anybody who is trying to deceive Athelstan in any way can roll a deception check in the tower.
Better hope you rolled above a 19, bitches. I don't trust any of you. Valish, you little asshole. You horny asshole.
Oh, that's a save. Okay. That's what that means then. Okay. I thought that meant secret.
Oh.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
So, yeah, deception checks in the tower if you are attempting to deceive.
He's taking in everybody very seriously.
And your insight check was 9.
Yes. Technically, Jenny always tastes the rainbow because rainbows are just refracted sunlight. I saw a double rainbow on Saturday when I was driving around for my shift.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so based on your insight check, you know that Valish, Gabriella, and the bartender are all hiding something. Not necessarily what. You just know that they're hiding something from you. However, that is also the nature of strangers and...
Yeah.
I just met you. Let me tell you all of my trauma. Hang on.
Oh yeah, no, like he's not asking
Hang
for
tight.
your trauma. He's not asking for your trauma. He's asking you to fucking ask before you go sucking on him like a goddamn juice box. I'm not sure I want to know what Valish is hiding.
He's into biting.
He would be.
It's into everything. Come on.
Pretty much.
It's true.
Yeah. And if he's not tried it, he'll try it first, and then probably still like it.
Athelstan will just like look at Valish and then look at Gabriella. I don't care if you have things that you want to keep to yourself that are unrelated to this. I do not give an absolute shit. It is your business. Are either of you fucking around with this nonsense?
And you gesture to the bite marks.
Yeah.
Gabriella shakes her head.
Who? Meaning if it was either of you.
I assume I'm not.
Did you bite us? Did you bite us?
Valish and Gabriella, they know.
Do you want me to roll on? Do you want me to, like, are we rolling on with that 19 insight check, or are we doing another opposed?
You can roll off again if...
Okay.
And Gabriella and Valish can persuade or deceive further if they like.
Well, I rolled a 9, so...
I mean, I've seen worse rolls.
Look clear. The question was, did you bite us? Are you sucking my blood? Gesturing at my wrist.
They seem to be honest when they say they had nothing to do with the biting.
Well, this is getting us nowhere. Sooner we take care of our business here, the sooner we can get the fuck out of here.
You want me to send a message to Calypso and have her start her way here?
Yes.
Because it's going to take her a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The quicker the better.
I'm going to do the thing then.
Meanwhile.
Actually, did the two of you ever actually tell us why we're here?
And he'll like.
Do you guys know why the other party's here? Because we sure as fuck don't know why you guys are here. We know why we're here, but why the hell are you guys here?
I mean, we were heading back to Darkon. You guys asked us to come with you.
I asked if you wanted to come with us, and if you wanted to escape this place.
And we said yes.
You seem somewhat capable.
If you wanted a refresher, you can roll a history check.
That's intelligence, I assume.
Why is there no button?
I rolled a 16.
Okay. So, Athelstan and Keli, you are... You know your mission.
Didn't do what I wanted it to.
As for the introduction of the party, the original Mistwalkers into your party, they appeared out of the mists as you were docked one night, and they appeared to be running from something.
And anyone who, well, the first thing I remember us talking about is anyone who can walk the mists is no ordinary individual.
Correct. Generally speaking, even people with souls, they either know not to traverse near the mists, or they essentially have blinders on when it comes to the mists. Just like, you don't go that far because then it's dangerous. Just like vague boogeyman type things on the edges of their, the domain's borders. They don't go there. They don't try to travel it.
Did we see them arrive?
No.
We didn't see them until the next... Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
we didn't see them until we were on the ship already.
Yeah, their first impression of us was
us beating the shit out of each other.
Was me shoving like 6 inches of cold hard steel in between your ribs.
Yeah. So for the original Mistwalkers, you guys had been escaping from Harmonia, where you had broken Valish, Gabriella, and Sly out of prison.
Yeah, the cannibal prison.
Yes, that was another thing. You had come into the knowledge that people in Harmonia who go to prison end up on the menu at some point.
And there was werewolves after y'all, right? There were
We're in the town. We were gonna, well, a couple of us were gonna
right, but I
fight
thought.
them.
Sorry,
There
my
was
brain
nothing
is like
chasing
going at
pissing
80
us.
miles a minute.
No, that's okay.
I'm
So
trying to
when
remember.
they were escaping Harmonia, and they went right into the mists with the intention of returning to Darkon. However, while they were in the mist, they were set upon by zombies. Not unheard of, but generally people who travel the mists, they have some sort of token. Doesn't allow them safe travel, but because
It's safer.
it's safer, and generally speaking, the people without a talisman of some sort, they're like a beacon. They're not, the people with talismans are not shrouded in any way, but they don't stand out. They're not like a sore thumb. Because
And Keeley would know that from showing up in the mist. I'm sorry.
you would
There's a
know
delay.
that. No, that's okay. You would know that from traveling with Athelstan. Everywhere you've gone, you've had a token for it.
Okay.
So you've had like a talisman of something that basically acts like a compass while you're in the mists. The party, because they were traveling with Valish and Gabriella, who did not have any sort of mist walking knowledge or tokens or anything like that, they were set upon by these zombies. They killed the first round of zombies, but they could hear more nearby, things that were larger that were coming closer, so they started running. And that's when they came upon the docked ship. Calypso had these blue lights sort of set out around where the dock was, and that seemed to ward off both the mists and any sort of creatures that kind of came that way. And Calypso offered to take them back to Darkon. She just had to make a stop in Keening first.
Okay, and then you guys got off the boat with us. Okay.
Yeah. And from that point, Athelstan has kind of roped them in. Not press gang them in any way, but like, they're obviously capable.
He's very charismatic.
He's
I think
handsome
we,
boy.
I
Oh,
think
he's-
we need to have a conversation, a very honest conversation in this group about what the fuck we're all doing.
Well, the thing is, I feel like the party's been honest with each other, but what we're doing has always been a bit of a problem, starting from our beginning of the adventure when we didn't ask who we were actually looking for.
I know, I've gone back and watched all the old ones.
So Athelstan,
Yeah, y'all like you say that, Keeli, and you like go to turn to like look Athelstan pointedly in the eye, and there's just like the anime dot outline of where he used to be. Ding, ding, ding. He ain't there.
Yeah, Athelstan has moved to the bartender, and they're currently conversing. Athelstan, the bartender just kind of corrects you and says mother's maid.
He'll nod.
Go to the fort.
He'll ask if there's any fancy, like, does he have to like send word ahead does he have to make an appointment? He's got like some paper and stuff just in case right now.
Don't stare at her eye.
Eye?
And he nods and he's like, won't be a problem.
I singular?
Yes.
You're not there.
That I think we knew, though. That sounds really familiar to me.
Just some culty stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Well, it is that something that you learned when you were talking with Jeannie about the map? I'm trying to remember it. Like I'm trying to remember where that information is coming from. It just sounds really familiar to me. And my notes are sort of all over the place right now.
Check the gossip if
Yeah.
you have
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm looking at right now.
So in your gossip pre joining the Mistwalkers, you know that followers of the Mother remove an eye.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being so faithful as to remove my own eye.
This happened in the one shot I had Atlas in that's non-canon to the Mistwalkers that I did with Cody, who briefly played with us on Tuesday's game. Fuck. I blame Cody.
I do too.
Mm-hmm. That was the one that I told y'all about where Atlas, he used summon animals to create like a bunch of crow swarms, and I attacked a child for his prizes so he didn't have to go get his eye stolen.
Yep.
So it was just a bit of trauma to save him from a lot of trauma.
Yeah. So that's about all you know. Just followers of the Mother remove an eye.
Cool.
Do we know what the Mother is?
Nope.
Okay.
Got an idea of it.
I do too, over the table, but
Oh well, just
guess we'll
based
find
off-
out.
Just based off the descriptions from the people that he's spoken to so far. Is there a particular schedule to keep?
She will make herself available to you if you need her.
Thank you. And he'll put coin down for the breakfast.
He slides it back. Not necessary. It was included in your room.
Oh, very well. He pays for tomorrow. He pays for tonight then.
Very well.
Walks back to the table. Okay. I don't know who wants to come with me, but Keely, I assume you're going to be tagging along, so put on your best clothing, the one without bloodstains preferably, and the one without that fucking coffee stain, please.
I don't drink coffee.
I know. Which makes me wonder all the more why it's on your collar.
Coffee.
And he'll hop up the steps.
Okay.
Where are y'all going? Fun?
And he's like, yeah, he can still hear them, right?
Yeah.
Going up the stairs. He pauses and he like ducks down, head just like tilted to the side, and he's just like, well, I'm gonna go see Mother's Maiden. And he like brings his head back up and then trots back up the stairs to go outfit himself.
He's so mysterious.
He's a pain in the ass. And then Keely goes to get changed.
And he you can hear a shout from up the stairs, pot, kettle.
Chopsticks.
Then you hear fork.
Valish, your turn.
Valish is already thinking about forking.
Yes.
Alaric is just like
forking, pegging.
What? That's not a utensil, silly.
No, I'm
It is a
following the
tool.
trail.
That's true.
I don't think I understand the game.
Chopstick.
Are we
Doing
all
something
going,
that's
or...
related to the previous.
I don't understand the reference. Are we all going, or are some of us staying here, or...
That is entirely up to you.
I'm pretty sure I think I don't even remember what he said. I think Athelstan said, well, I don't know who wants to come with me, but Keely, I assume you'll be tagging along.
Yeah. Atlas doesn't understand. Does Atlas know out of character, I mean in character, why they want to go see the Mother, or no?
You guys
Nope,
never
because we
asked.
haven't had
I
a
have no idea.
conversation about
No,
it.
that's why I'm like, Atlas doesn't know why they're going, so he doesn't know if he wants to go.
Yeah, we have no idea. We just went, hey, do you want... Athelstan just said, hey, you guys want to escape this stuff?
Yeah, and you
Come
guys
with
never
us.
asked anything.
Yeah.
No one ever asked him.
There's a
So, like-
shock. They didn't ask any questions.
They were just happy to escape the mists. I
Sort
know
of
that Calypso
assumed
was
you'd
going
tell
back.
us at some point.
I know that I forget, was Calypso chartered for more than just Keening, or were we all going back to Darkon after Keening?
Calypso is essentially not indentured, but hired
contract.
by you and your father.
Yeah.
So
Will
at
she
any
be on-
point, she can be.
I know that's wibbly wobbly, so it's not like a terribly long journey.
Yeah.
To like get back to Darkon, stuff like that. Especially like he's like so far at least gathered a fair amount of information, and go and like see what the fuck's going on and stuff. So maybe we'll make our way. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I will, like, as I'm getting ready and stuff, I will cast sending
Okay.
to Calypso and do the thing. Yep.
Ooh.
Hi, Calypso. It's Keli. Please sail around to New Tepest and pick us up.
You're good. You still have like.
You have 12 words left.
I am not Jester and do not need to use all 25 words.
I am not Jester and do not have to.
Yeah, there you go.
You used all 25.
Perfect.
I forgot I had all this inspiration. I could have used it on any of my fucking rolls. Can I?
Yeah, I
use
have
it?
2, and I completely fucking forgot about them.
I would like to, before I feel like you're getting ready to wind us down.
Yep.
Since we're back in the room, I do want to make like an investigation to see if there's any sign of disturbance that Athelstan can posit wasn't from him or his love's presence or activities.
In your room?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
And like possibly as he's and like after he's like dressed and he wants to like kind of check the doors and whatnot of the others and stuff.
Okay,
So,
go ahead and make an investigation check for your room.
I'm going to use an inspiration
Sure.
because I'm tired of rolling like shit. What do I add to that again? I'm sorry. It's a D8.
It's a reroll, isn't it?
It's a reroll
It's-
for
Yeah.
inspiration.
That's not better. I will use another inspiration.
Nope.
I need something to work.
You basically get like an advantage or disadvantage with the inspirations. So,
Uh-huh.
the check of your room yields no new information from the night before.
Rolling like shit. Fantasy grounds.
Yeah, it's been sort of all over the place today.
What about what's the next door closest to me on the way back down?
Next door closest to you would be Alaric and Baelish's room.
Other one?
I don't know if you want to go in there.
You want me to roll another one?
Yep.
Jeez, fucking it's a fucking literally rolled a 5 at first and then a complete 9. Then I rolled a nat 1. Then I rolled just now a 3 to a complete 7. What the fuck? I'm
Hey.
literally trained in this. I am proficient. Obviously
know.
not.
Put that dice in dice jail and change colors.
How the fuck does one do? What fuck, where, what?
Upper right hand
Yes.
corner.
Upper right hand corner.
There's a
Color
thing that
palette.
looks like an artist palette. That's how you change the color of your dice.
Probably have to drop down tool.
Oh.
Back to the tools.
Yeah.
Click first circle to set user color. Cool. Next door. Did I notice anything with this door?
You know that Baelish was behind this door, so you're not super into investigating it.
Well, I already know. he's
Seems
hiding
fine.
something.
Next door down the hall is
18.
okay, so this is Keeli and Gabriella's room.
Of course.
The door seems fine.
Keeli slept on the floor on her bed mat, by the way, because I assume that Gabriella was like asleep really quickly.
She's like, a bed!
Probably.
A bed that's not a tiny little bed on a ship or the floor of someone's parlor.
Or the floor of a dungeon.
Yeah.
A full
So
dragon.
the door seems secure. There's no tampering to the lock or the mechanisms to open it.
Is there another door? I forget.
Yep, there is a door at the end of the hallway.
And that's
Sly
what
and
Opening that, there's actually two doors. There's one door that's marked staff only, and then the other door is probably Sly and Alice's room.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Same situation here. No marks of tampering around the lock or the hinges, nothing.
We'll go back downstairs.
Okay.
And go right to the bartender. Is that where you want to leave it tonight?
Yeah, we can leave it there.
I would like to leave it with a one-liner.
Okay, go for it.
He'll go up. You know, he's like kind of a big boy, and this is a dwarf, but like, you know, sizes and everything. Kind of leans his elbows on the counter real quick, and he's like, "You got keys to every room. People who work behind this counter, huh?" He's like signing that.
Yes.
When does Kill F get back on duty?
8 o'clock.
Marvelous. And that's it.
Okay.
I love that you did this investigation check while Keeli was like changing. So I imagine you just like kicked the fucking door open.
Oh, he was only checking the door itself. He wasn't opening it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were investigating the room too.
No, he's like looking at the lock for like the usual like scrapey marks and shit.
If that had happened, you would have like kicked Valish's door open and he would have been like,
Yep.
Oh.
oh, wait.
Oh. You know, I suppose I've never done purple before. Or has he?
Oh, have I? No, I
You
have.
probably have.
So thanks everybody for joining us. It was good session. Lots of fun. Join us on Wednesday over at DM Jeremy's channel, where we will be starting a brand new campaign. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool aesthetic. The Mummy meets Indiana Jones meets Tomb Raider meets... I'm excited for it.
Sounds gay as hell, and I'm into it.
Gay as balls. And then come back here on Friday. We are not playing Fixius 5 this week because a couple of our players are out of town. Maggie. And
It's not just
Keisha.
me. It's not just me.
3 of our players.
I know 3 of our players
Wow.
are out of town.
Maddie.
Maddie.
What about Rob?
We are, however, playing Babies and Broadswords with the creator of Babies and Broadswords and the content creator for Evenfoot Games. So
Is this who you were excited about, Artemis?
What?
Was that who you were excited about?
No.
there's a couple of
The
people
person
we're
I'm excited about in October.
There's a couple people we're excited about.
I mean, I'm excited
and
about this.
Jason is one of them. We are super excited
Yeah.
to play with him. And DM Rick from Hammer of the Gods podcast will actually be DMing that for us or babysitting for us for that one. If you haven't checked it out on Instagram, Artemis did some adorable fucking chibi art for our characters, and go look it up. Go check out Hammer of the Gods podcast, HamPod here on Twitch. Yeah. And then come back on Sunday for DM Jeremy again, where we will be playing some AD&D and having PTSD. It's fine.
So PTSD and D.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only reason a D would be in there anyway.
Yeah.
Shut up,
Wink.
Baelish.
So stick around. We are going to raid somebody. Raiding is great for the community, and it also gives you platinum pieces that you can use to hinder or help the party during games.
Is it still out there?
Oh my goodness. Why? Frickin'
It's great
Twitch.
when you want to adopt a poor NPC that
Yep.
is just continuously harassed by a certain Warforged.
Yep. So we are gonna raid. Let's see here.
Madbird's on. Total Party Chill.
Yeah,
Ink and Liar.
We'll go throw some love in Madbird streams. They're good peoples. They like us. So give them a follow if you haven't already, and we will see you Wednesday, hopefully. If not, Friday back here. Have a good night, everybody.